What up, y'all? We are back. It's a special show. I'm excited. Before we jump right into it, make sure that y'all go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let people know that we are live. Follow us on our Facebook page as well. We're gonna jump right into it. We got my man Taman back on the show.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening, good folks?
Excited. Let's jump right into it. We're gonna get to let's and y'all know how it is. Y'all know what it is. We kick off with baseball. Y'all know Taman not baseball head. Yeah,
Not at all.
So he gonna really just be sitting back and
I can chime in a little bit.
He gonna chime in. All right, there we go. He gonna chime in. Listen. Last time y'all seen my man, he had the little curly top. Now he out here with the twist and dreading up. Look at him, man. Look at my man, looking good.
I'm trying.
Let's jump right into it, man. Let's jump baseball. Division winners, wild cards. I guess I'll start with the East. Get it out the way. I know where Biv going. I saw his post on. I saw him comment on our Facebook page today. So I know where he going. I was like, of course, that's where he would go. So he know where I'm gonna go. No surprise. We going Phillies. I'm going Phillies.
You're kidding me. Come on, man.
I'm going Phillies.
Come on, man.
Philly.
Listen. We showed up our bullpen. We got two and a half starters, but our lineup is nasty. We had the number 4 offense in the NL last year. Number 4 offense in the NL. We got 2 solid starters. We got Archie Bradley as a relief pitcher. We got players. You know what I mean? So I like what we did. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't think it's gonna be tough, because then you got 5 good solid teams in the National League. I'm not sold really on the Mets yet. I know what they did in the offseason. Was a lot.
What exactly aren't you sold on the Mets?
They still got to go out and play. They still got to go out.
So do y'all. I'm just saying.
I know.
So does everybody. But I'm just saying.
That's why I got the Phillies. But it's until further notice.
Okay.
I got the Phillies.
We started. My man Dom started off the show with a bias alert. Like,
I'm into mine back. I got to.
We didn't even warm up yet. You know what I mean? We didn't even warm up yet, and we started with a bias alert. You know, but like baseball is one of those things. If anything can happen, so like the Phillies winning the East would be one of those things. Like, well, I'm seeing that coming, but that's baseball. But I don't see them finishing better than 4th.
What?
in that division?
Oh man!
Come on, Dom.
Listen.
Dom. We are talking about. Make sure we are talking about the Mets. We're talking about the Braves. We're talking about the Nats.
Mm-hmm. The Nats, who finished worse than us.
And then didn't the Marlins make the playoffs last year?
They had the Marlins had
answer the question.
3 breaks. The Marlins had 3 breaks in the middle of the season. They had three All-Star breaks in the middle of the season. So they was fresh.
Can we answer the question?
They was fresh.
Can we answer the question?
Yes, the Marlins made the playoffs last year.
Okay, so the Marlins made the playoffs last year.
That was a fluke.
The Phillies pretty much, in my opinion, they stayed intact. They are exactly the same team that we seen from last year, which would almost make them the same team that we seen from a year before. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is that a good thing?
No, that's not a good thing.
It is a good thing. Listen, we had the number 4 offense in the National League.
Why? Because Reese had a bounce back year.
And we
is he going to continue to bounce back, or is he going to go back to the guy that he was before the year before? See, there's just as many questions about the Phillies and their lineup as the Mets in their lineup, or the Mets and their pitching staff. So I feel like both the Nats, because they were the World Series champs 2 years ago in the last real season that we played, right?
Mm-hmm.
They added. They got better. The Braves, still the same team intact, got better. So I feel like they're the front runners in this division. I feel like that's the two. That's the two. I feel like that's the 2-horse race. But the Mets, because of what they added, they've added themselves into it. I don't feel like the Phillies are in that equation yet.
How can we talk about the Nats? 2 years ago, they lost Anthony Rendon, right? Which is huge, and they finished worse than the Phillies last year. So we can't say that.
How many games did Strauss start last year?
I hear you. But Reese he had up and down. He had a season in the middle of the season where I was like he was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found. Then he started coming on. We had JT Realmuto, who was balling last year. I think he'll pick it up. We had Didi, who balled last year, pick it up. It's not our offense. It was our pitching staff, and most importantly, our closers, our bullpen. Did we not show that up? Did we not show that up?
That was last year.
That was last year. Yes.
Okay. But I'm talking about the ugly things that happened the year before.
Man, we can't talk about the year before.
Come on. If Reese just had a bounce back year, that means there was question marks on whether or not he was gonna be the guy. So that means that he didn't answer that question. He didn't answer that question. He needs to be consistent in that. I can't say that Reese is gonna Reese at one point in time. People thought he was getting ready to become one of the top first basemen in the league.
I agree.
Then he had that year where he fell all the way back. So there's still questions on him.
I agree with you with that. Listen,
is McCutchen going to continue to play at a high level?
See, he came back with injury as well.
There didn't seem to be that much of a market for Didi. Is he going to continue to play at a high level? Like, there's question marks on these guys.
Everybody knew Didi was coming back, but this is what I'll say.
But was it because he didn't have any other choice?
I think a lot of people wanted Didi, but this is what I said.
I agree with you. I wasn't reading that.
I agree with you. There is no logical explanation for me to pick the Phillies other than I'm a Phillies fan, and that lineup is nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you. The lineup
does have some good names in it. I give you that.
Now, listen, there was a number 4 offense in that.
They got some good names in it. Yeah.
They got production. It ain't the lineup. It's the pitching.
And I mean the ballpark don't do y'all no favors either. So.
Now we're talking about the ballpark. Now we talking about the ballpark.
Don't do y'all no favors.
That's what we
don't do y'all no favors when your bullpen's questionable. It don't do you no favors.
Listen, that's what we play.
So you got to deal with it.
Listen, I like your Braves pick though. I like the Braves pick.
Of course, I'm going with my boys. Like.
And it's logical. It's logical.
And that makes sense. You know what I mean? That makes sense. But
I was a Braves fan. I don't know what's going on in Atlanta. I mean, if I watch baseball, if the Braves would win a championship, I'd be excited. At the same time, I can only go off what I ain't gonna say I'll only go off, but I don't watch baseball, so I had to see and pick other people's minds, and a lot of people's minds is going with the Mets in that division. I don't know why.
That is because it's fresh.
I've seen that they've added a lot, and they've got a lot of hype. And I mean, from projections and algorithms and whatnot, have them winning that. So I guess I'll say the Mets. I don't want to. I want it to be biased and just say the Braves, but I'll say the Mets. But it definitely does look like a good division, to be quite honest.
It's gonna be a really tough division to the point where, because
I've seen where they've had the Marlins last, and I'm like, the Marlins made the playoffs.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't believe
nobody believes in the Marlins or the Marlins. That's like all of a sudden. Remember a couple of years ago, we was believing in the Browns, and then it took them a couple more years before they finally showed themselves who they really were. Because we was looking stupid keep talking about the Browns was going to win the division, and
Yeah,
then they win like 3 games. You know what I mean?
We saw that it was just
It wasn't. We was premature.
yeah,
We was premature.
Yeah.
That's all. But the Marlins, like people just don't. They're not gonna believe in the Marlins. But the Phillies, again, if guys are who they are supposed to be, the Phillies can win the division. I give you that. But that's a big if.
So this one is up in the air.
Gotcha.
This one is
Nah,
definitely up in the
This
I think
division,
it's up in the air,
anybody
but-
can win this. I think anybody can win this division.
But if
Even
you
the
ask me who the
even the
best team in
Marlins.
the division is, if you're asking me who the best team in the division is, it's the Braves. The Braves are the best team in the division. You know what I mean? But like Bill said, anybody can win the division.
Just gotta
Who
pick
has the best
that.
lineup, in my opinion, it is the Phillies. But if you're talking about the most complete team in the division, the most complete team in the division is Washington, in my opinion. That's the most complete team in the division. Now, will they play like it? Don't know. But let's jump to the AL. Let's jump to the AL East. You know what I mean? Since I saw Bibbs, I saw who else he had winning the division. I'm gonna go with Tampa until further notice.
Tampa.
We'll go with Tampa. This is why.
After all they lost,
they're trained out there. They're factory out there. Listen,
I understand that, but man, they lost a lot.
The Yankees proved to me that they can do it. I'm gonna pick Tampa. The Yankees every year we pencil them. Yep, that's who's gonna do it. And for some reason they don't. So I'm gonna go with Tampa. I don't pick them to win the World Series because they still got the manager, but I'm gonna pick Tampa because for some reason they find players.
Hold on. So you think even without Blake and Charlie,
Blake who? Snell?
Blake Snell, yeah.
yes.
Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? That's one name I do know.
He's in San Diego.
San Diego.
Okay.
Like, hold on. So you mean Dom? You still think that pitching staff can hold up and do and repeat that in that division?
I don't know.
Boston don't have no pitching, but Boston is still gonna hit the ball and score runs.
I get it, but listen. Boston, where they finished in that division last year?
They're not. That was last year when Tampa had arms. Tampa don't have them arms no more.
I think they lost it, but I also think that they also have other players. I think they still have. I think they'll be a better offensive team as well. And their farm system is nice. I just think again with the Yankees because really, if we're being real, and this is what I'll say. I'm not gonna say it's just a 2-team race because the Blue Jays they coming. I think the Blue Jays is coming, but I don't know if I trust the Yankees. That's all. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I had to place my trust in a team, and I had to bet on a team to win the division, everybody's gonna say I want the Yankees, but the Yankees we seen this song and dance they let us down.
I say the Yankees.
They got the best team in the division.
They're always the best team that money can pay for.
Yeah.
Going way back. So Tampa Bay they did the thing last year, but that's the one player I do know. I ain't gonna say one player, but one of the few players I do know, Blake Snell. And he's going to the Padres. That makes sense as far as the Padres is concerned in that division. But yeah, I'll pick the Yankees.
And I'm saying,
I think it's like you said, it's going to be tough. I ain't gonna say because Boston is a tough out in my opinion. Always.
I just want to play the Yankees. I'll say this again.
Shout out to Baltimore.
Just like I talked about with the Phillies, the best team in the division is the Yankees. But this is the team that I trust to win the division. It's not the team I trust to win the division.
Don't sleep on the Orioles. Shout out to Baltimore. I'm joking. I've heard they might be poop.
I think Biv. And Biv talking about he's going off talent. That's where he's going.
Actually, I'm not picking the Yankees to win the division. I'm picking the Yankees to get the wild card. I just feel like
So
I got a feeling this is getting ready to be one of those Canada years.
Oh, so Toronto. Okay.
I got a feeling Toronto gonna put together a season and make a run. I think that young talent has finally come together, and then you add in a vet with championship experience like Springer. Yeah, I think you got the right ingredients there, especially if he's going to be hitting at the top of that lineup and setting the table. Man, I think the sky's the limit for that team. I think they're going to be the team to make a run. I think the Yankees take the wild card. I just think the Yankees championship experience and will be enough to get them through the playoffs as a wild card and win a World Series. Well,
Toronto still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Joe Carter.
Yeah, I know.
In the World Series.
I know. I've seen that magic before.
Yeah.
And I feel like it might have returned. So
I got you. All right. AL Central. Momentum. More talent, young talent. White Sox.
Well, we agree. We agree on that.
Hey, listen, young talent, hot, building, doing it the right way. I like it, and there's too many question marks for me in Cleveland.
Since I went back to the Blue Jays having a bad taste, I might as well go to another team that gave me a bad taste, which is the Minnesota Twins. Kirby them, but I say the Twins is going to win this division. I think looking at what I looked at, it looks like it's going to be a 3-team race in that division. It's probably going to be tight between the Twins, Indians, and White Sox, and it'll probably come down to a few games. So just pick the Twins out of that bunch.
I think the Twins, man, they age got to catch up to them at some point, don't it?
Not in baseball.
Yeah,
not in baseball. I think the pitching staff that has the best year is going to be the team. It's going to be the team that takes that division, and I trust the White Sox pitching staff the most.
I agree. All right, West, AL West. This is another tough division. But this one I'm gonna say, at some point, he has to get it done.
Nope, I'm done. I'm off that train.
He has to get it done.
I'm off that train.
So I'm going to go with the Oakland A's.
Dom, get off that train, bro.
I am off the train. I ain't rooting for them. I'm rooting for the Oakland A's.
What train you talking about? The Trout train?
Yeah, the Trout train.
I'm a ride on that Trout train and say that the A's
leave that train alone, bro.
No, I think look, just like we was talking about the Browns earlier, how we was too early picking. I think this is gonna be the one. So I'm gonna try. I'm the last stop.
Too early.
Slide on.
The last stop.
Yeah, I'm the last stop. So I'm gonna try to slide on before the train gets over that bridge. So
let me say this. The talent is undeniable. And I don't know what's going on, and I just don't know what's going on now because, like, they didn't even sniff the playoffs last year. So, but
I thought Anthony was going to be a huge difference. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, he's still, to me, still the best third in the game.
I don't know. I don't know. Oakland.
I know he lost Morgan Seaman, but they consistent every year.
I'm gonna go Houston. Forget it.
I think what's his name losing. I think his name now was huge. They lost their catcher too.
Like Bieberman. Didn't they? They've lost somebody, didn't they?
They lost
Springer. George Springer. They lost George Springer.
Springer, that's what it was.
And he lost.
What's the name?
Who? McCann?
Yeah.
They fine.
We'll see.
Still got Altuve.
He like 45, ain't he?
We thought Brantley was leaving.
They came back. And they got Pop. They still got Pop. Again, they are
Alvarez.
one of the teams that got their farm system good too. You know what I mean? So
Correa's still there, right? Yeah, not yet. Give me the Stros. They return. They get ready. They get ready to show y'all that they still got it. I think their theme song should be Roy Jones. That should be their theme song for the year.
All right,
Roy Jones. Right.
Y'all must have forgot.
Mm-hmm. That's their theme song for the year.
His quarter of a hit.
Mm-hmm.
The Central, National League Central.
Oh my God, this is the toughest division to pick.
I know. I'm just like, man.
Especially after Christian Yelich had the season that he had last year. Like him having that bad of a season, and they were still like battling.
Mm-hmm. So with St. Louis.
And then they added Aaron.
But I'm gonna go with the Cubs.
I'm sorry, Nolan Arenado. That's what they added.
I gotta go with the Cubs because they are the team. They are the consistent team until further notice. Got to. If you're still looking at their lineups, if you're looking at their lineups, and you're looking at the most complete team in that division, it's still the Cubs until further notice. Until they start getting rid of their pieces. They got the most talent and the most consistent. They're the most complete team in that division.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree, Dom. I'm gonna pick the Cubs just because you said it. Just because, man, J1's a Cubs fan.
If being real with himself, he knows that's the most complete team in the division until otherwise.
So why they always struggling?
I don't know, man. Everybody else in the division struggle too.
I don't trust Craig Kimbrell at the back end of that bullpen. That's scary. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? All of a sudden he can't pitch no more. Like my man had like over a 5 ERA last year or something crazy.
It was COVID season, man. I got through it though.
Nah, you can't throw out COVID season. It happened.
Like I feel like this is.
I feel like it's a St. Louis year.
I feel like it's a St. Louis year. It's just like every now and again you just need to. The St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants, they just do stuff. It don't make sense to you. You like how, but I just feel like, especially when you add another bat like that, and I think that bat is going to help other bats in that lineup. Like all of a sudden, you're going to remember, oh my gosh, Paul Goldschmidt was a really good hitter. Like he was all of a sudden you're going to remember that because people are going to have to pitch to him. I'm going to go Cardinals. Forget it. Whatever. If I'm wrong. But I just got that feeling. Kind of like the Blue Jays. It's just that I feel like it's just going to be one of those. I just feel like a full year of baseball, you're going to be able to see these teams make a true run. And I think it's going to be the Cardinals. I think it's going to be a good year for them.
Well, we shall see. And then we got the West. I think
boring.
I think two of us going to go, or all three of us maybe. Or Tamar might pick somebody go elsewhere, but
boring. That's boring.
I'm picking the Padres.
Really?
Picking the Padres. Padres to me is the best team in that division.
Hold on, man. I understand that. So now you want to go with the best team in the division. But your logic has been all day, right? All day it's been who has been and had supremacy over this division, right? It's not been about the best team. The Dodgers have ran this division, and now all of a sudden it's not about supremacy over the division. It's about the best team.
Who's the best player? Who's the best player in that division?
Nah. Because now, that's probably your World Series pick too on the low, and now you want to go ahead and give them the division first too.
Who's the best player in the division?
Mookie Betts.
Okay, who's the second best player in the division?
Tatis.
Who's the third best player in the division?
Oh, you said who's the second best player?
Yeah.
Cody Bellinger. Are we kidding ourselves right now? Like let's stop this. Let's stop this train. Let's pump our brakes. Let's pump our brakes a little bit. Tatis had a great season last year. Let's pump our brakes. Cody been doing this for a while. We're gonna stop this.
That's what we're gonna go.
He's the hotter player. He's the hotter player. He has probably a higher trajectory than Cody. He's probably gonna be better than Cody at some point. But he hasn't gotten there yet. Let's pump our brakes.
I pulled out MLB 2021 and I looked at everybody overall. I guarantee Tatis overall is better than Cody Bellinger's right now.
Man, are we really going by that? We've seen Madden have dumb ratings. We've seen 2K have dumb ratings. I'm not going by that. Again, I think Tatis is on a higher trajectory as far as career-wise. He will be better than Cody Bellinger. But Cody has been at this level much more consistent. I can't say that he's better than him. He's hotter than him right now. He's hotter than him. He's trending up.
I actually think the third best player and the second best is Tatis, the third best is Manny. And then I got Cody. And I'm just strictly basing it off of last year, not talking about what they did. And honestly, I might put Manny over if we're talking about the past 5 years. I might put Manny in that maybe best second best position, but because I think people sleep on Manny, but I think Manny and Tatis are a better duo than Cody and Mookie. However, I think that I think complete team. I don't know. The what's name is the best. They're the best team in the division. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why I'm picking the Padres. I'm just riding the wave. I
was gonna say I think you riding the wave. But I mean, when you add Darvish, you add Blake Snell, and you think and hope
Clevenger.
that at some point in time Clevenger's gonna come back. You feel me? And then you add Mark Melican to the back of the bullpen. So yeah, like who's not gonna feel like they're good? Manny, Tatis, Will Myers, they got bats. Eric Hosmer, they got bats. So, they're gonna be good. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers. And I'm not getting ready to sit here and pretend that they're not the Dodgers. So
when last time Dodgers outside last year, when last time Dodgers won the World Series? They've been good for a while.
Good for
listen,
a while. And Dodgers, I feel like the guys that may have not had an opportunity to step up, I feel like now they're going to probably have an opportunity to step up.
I think this is a coin flip division.
Like I feel you. I feel you. If the Padres win, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that at all. But until they do it, I'm picking the Dodgers.
I got you. So you use my argument against me. I got you.
Yeah, it's like the Patriots. It's like the Patriots. Like I couldn't pick the Bills to beat the Patriots and win the division to beat the Patriots until they did it.
I got you.
Right. Sorry.
I'm picking the Dodgers.
I know. Listen, I know. I'm on an island over here. I thought Bill was riding the wave with me, but see not.
I can't ride that wave. I can't ride that wave. I can't ride that wave yet, man. That team, the Dodgers, been beating down that door to get that champion, to get that World Series, and they finally did it. I think they're gonna be even hungrier now.
All right, 2 wild cards. AL Yankees, and my other one, it was tough. but I gotta go Houston. I wanted to go Toronto. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted to go Toronto.
I picked Toronto to win the division, so I picked the Yankees to go to the World Series. So of course I got to give the Yankees one wild card. The second wild card, that was tough, and Mike Trout gets into the playoffs this year. I'm off the train of him winning the division.
You
He can win the wild card.
Still on the train. You're just not on the train.
Yeah, I'm on the caboose, but I'm ready to jump off. I'm on the caboose, but I am ready to jump right off.
Gotcha.
Get a wild card, man.
Just
get a wild card.
I got San Diego.
Whoa, brother, we in the AL.
Oh, we in the AL. My fault. I'm sorry. Who do I have? Not them. Tampa Bay, because I picked the Yankees. How many wild cards is it? Oh,
just 2.
Okay, just 2. And the White Sox.
National League, Braves, Dodgers.
And here is where the rubber meets the road. Nats, Mets. Padres don't make the playoffs.
Ooh. Listen, I almost thought about not putting the Dodgers in there.
Then he sips his coffee.
I almost thought about not putting the Dodgers in there. But like you said, man, they talent too. Their talent is it's a lot of talent in there. Let's transition real quick. Let's transition college real fast. Get that one out of the way. Jim Boeheim, who I know my man to my high on, versus Jalen Johnson.
What you mean I'm high on Jim Boeheim? All he do is play zone. Nah.
Look, man, listen. You got your man championship, man. So I know you all forever indebted, man. I know you forever indebted.
I was a Carolina fan more than anything. But listen, I mean, Melo got that ring. Don't do that. That's the only one.
3 years later, Jim was there again, right?
Is that the only one he got, or he got 2?
I think Jim got like 3 of them things.
Jim Boeheim got Syracuse got 1 national championship.
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, you do. You're right.
And this is thank you for. That's exactly where
Melo did that.
That's exactly where I'm going with this. Why does he still have a job?
Because he
won that 1 national championship in 2003.
He still got the job because of that? No?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
If you look at his win percentage high, man.
That team has not been good for years.
He got something on the school.
That team has not been good
for
years. Exactly.
He's got something on somebody.
Exactly. He is Syracuse basketball. He is the face of Syracuse basketball.
But why?
Because he's been there for so long and he's got that 1 national championship. Think about this. Name a Syracuse player in the league that's killing it right now.
Carmelo Anthony.
All of these schools and all of these big time coaches, they are continuously putting in these big time talented guys into the NBA. Syracuse ain't doing that no more. Syracuse is barely competing to get in. They're always on the bubble. Every year, they're always on the bubble. Why does he still have a job? And then for him to go out and say that something about this kid just decided to opt out or whatever. Maybe it was a rift in the locker room that he didn't and that's why they weren't playing that well. Maybe there was, and maybe he was just like, you know what, I'm gonna remove myself from it. Like, I don't know. He doesn't know either. He don't know the inside of that locker room. And if he did know, and then he made a comment like that, that's even worse. Because he made Coach KR cool. But if so, that's even worse in my opinion. But you don't make no comment like that. Like, this team is much better now without him. Like, I understand that they're playing better basketball, but we're not gonna sit here and act like when he was out, the narrative wasn't, man, they're gonna be even better when he come back. And then all of a sudden, like, you're going to start making these comments that they're much better without him. And you hadn't even played them yet. And then they smoked you. And then, so I guess that justifies that they're a much better team because they smoked you. But you're always getting smoked all of a sudden. Like let's stop playing it. And that's why I got mad. I'm like, dude, you need to be worried about your job. That's what you need to be worried about. Stop worrying about somebody else's program. Worry about your program. Because your program is almost in the dumps. Like, let's stop playing around with it. His program is almost in the dumps. They almost get ready to be a perennial NIT team. So worry about your program, Jim Boeheim.
Yeah, right. Jim Boeheim, I seen where he was defending himself, where he was pretty much saying that he I guess he has a show, and he said it on his show, and he was like, I seen a half of them playing against somebody and then a whole game against somebody. And he was saying how he felt like they looked better in that clip that he's seen, the half that he's seen in the whole game, because he knew that they was playing them like in a few days or whatever. And he felt like they were playing better now at this point. He was saying like he wasn't trying to come at the boy or whatever. But I don't know if it was a subtle shot when he was like, I never seen it in 10 years, somebody do that. I mean, but at the same time, I don't think that Jim Boeheim meant it the way that it's portrayed. I think that with him being in the realm of being a coach, he's looking at the tape, he's all engulfed in, and from what he said, I can only go off what the man said after the fact, which was pretty much like, yo, it wasn't meant that way. Like, I really watched Duke play a half on Wednesday night, and then the next game they played, and they looked better than they did the whole season. And I mean, and I don't even think, like, when he said it like that, I kind of viewed it as like, there's times to where you can take the best player out sometimes, and it may look for a stretch that like the team is better because the ball is moving or a lot more people are getting involved. But at the same time, we all know that, I mean, when the best player is on the floor, you always have a chance to win. So
I'm going to take it from a whole different angle real quick for y'all. Player empowerment. These older coaches, they don't like it. They do not like the player empowerment. We see it in NFL. We see Deshaun Watson taking his thing in his own hands. What we see, a lot of these older Caucasian people, being real, they don't like it. Shut up and play. That's what one of them actually said. Shut up. You get paid a lot of money to play football.
That's what Brett Favre said.
Does that make me less of a man? That make me less of a man because I get paid a lot of money to play football. Talk about James Harden, right? Shut up and play. You shouldn't do Houston like that. He did play. James Harden has never, ever not played and not cared about the game of basketball. I would say James Harden has never cheated the game of basketball. Never, ever. He gives his all. He gives his all the time. People crying, talking about that, right? Talk about LeBron. Now we're seeing it trickle down in college basketball. One, Jalen Johnson was injured a lot this season. He was injured again during this time. And then him and his coach came to a mutual agreement that it was best for him to prepare for the NBA draft. If I keep it real 100, if we keep it real 100, right? There was another path that Jalen Johnson could have taken and still been a top 5 player. He went to the G League and showcased his talents there. He still would have been a top 5 player. He could have sat out all season.
He could have went overseas.
James Wiseman still would have been the top 5 player. So we act like the school is a blessing to the player. When it's the total opposite.
That's
The
what it
player
used
is
to
a
be.
blessing to the school. That like I don't care. Duke, just because Duke is on the back of the jersey, don't mean that you're gonna win championships.
That's
Just
what it
because,
used to be.
huh?
That's what it used to be. You think like
The players
that's
came.
the TV, that's all you seen, so that's what you wanted to be. But now it's getting to the point to where people are taking control of their lives.
Yep.
And like I mean, it's different in professionally because we're talking about grown men. But then when we're talking about college athletics, we see them as kids, but at the same time, they're 18, they're
Grown men.
grown. So once they graduate high school, I mean, like if they didn't have a scholarship, if they were just a regular, you know what I mean, whatever, they got to find a job. So they got to make grown people decisions.
And the thing about it is, man, I've never looked at them. Well, never. I stopped looking at them as athletes. I stopped looking at them as basketball players. I started looking at them as independent contractors because that's really what they are.
That's
Yep.
funny.
Even at the collegiate level, you sign a contract that you have to abide by, right? There's rules on it. There's regulations. You're an independent contractor. That's exactly what you are. Unfortunately, at the collegiate level, you're not compensated. People think that because you get an education that you're compensated. I am not compensated through knowledge for my labor. That's a ridiculous statement that people think that you should, for your labor, you're compensated in knowledge.
Are you in my house, bro? Dwayne, were you in my house last night?
So they're independent contractors, and that's what they need to be treated as, and they need it to be viewed as. And again, I just think that at this point in time, we need to remove ourselves from the academic side of college sports. It just needs to be two completely separate entities. If you want to go to that school and play basketball, that's the only reason you need to be there. Forget the academic side of it, because you're not there to get the education. Now, if you want to get the education, yes, you can have it for free. Go ahead, that's fine if you want to get it. But if you don't want it, who cares? That's not your career path. You go to college to gain a career. That's the point of it. It's not, you don't go to college to get a degree. Let's stop pretending that, because the degree don't mean anything. Because if you get a degree and graduate, and then you still go get a job, and they look at you and say, you know what, you don't have no experience. You got a 4-year degree, but you don't have no experience. Go get some experience, and now that you got the degree, and then you can come back.
Take this 2-year unpaid internship.
I'm in debt. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. So why go to school and get an education when that's not really why I'm there?
Yeah. I'm not here. I'm here to play basketball.
I signed this independent contract to play. That's to play basketball. It's just some stipulations in it that I got to go to school and get certain grades and everything too. But that's not really what this contract is about. This contract is about me playing basketball, or playing football, or baseball, or volleyball, or badminton.
It's my internship.
Can I ask you a question, Biv, man? You got a microphone in my house or something, man? No. The reason why I say that, man, is because I was asking my wife the same thing. Because like when you send me the topics of what it's going to be, I had a discussion with my wife, because you know what I mean, she played collegiate basketball, so she understands. And I was like, we broke down the whole. I know we'll get into that a little bit, but the Draymond Green situation when he was talking about Andre Drummond. And she pretty much said what he said, and I was like, yo, in a sense, they're all independent contractors. I mean, and we have to look at it like that. Like, they are playing for their best interest. And at the end of the day, you got to think like this is a person just like you are, regardless of whether or not you have the interest of the AD has the interest of Duke or their program, right? But at the same time, he's a person, and he has interest in his family and whatever is going on in his circle or whatever. So does Jalen Johnson. He's got a whole family depending on him that's seen him since probably sophomore year in high school, saying, yo, you going to the league. And now we here, and this team, it as a North Carolina fan, it gets to my heart when I see Duke in the position that they are, but we are in the same position as well. So I can't really say I can't really enjoy it too much. But I mean,
you know, we haven't really done a lot of college basketball topics this year, right?
Understood.
You know, my man don't want to talk college basketball.
You don't want to talk college basketball? I wouldn't want to talk college basketball.
Hey, listen, we're gonna get in. We about to get in.
When Baylor is at 2, or Gonzaga look like he ain't about to run away with it. But
man,
I mean, like the independent contractors
coming. What you talking about? We coming.
Y'all sometimey, man. Gonzaga's been
sometimey.
Gonzaga.
Sometimey. We only got one loss. We only got one loss, bro.
I've seen y'all play.
I'm on.
I've seen y'all play a little bit.
You know what? I'm not talking to him. What am I doing? They're delusional, right? They're delusional right now. They don't know what's going on.
The Zags and Baylor, neither one of them have played stiff competition. That's what
they haven't. But I mean, every time I watch the Polo on Sports Center, Gonzaga's blowing everybody out. Even though
somebody by 17,
they playing Louisiana.
Yeah, y'all running through the Big Ten. So
we running through other good teams.
I get that. I give y'all that.
Running through other good teams.
I give y'all that.
You seen what we did to Iowa last night? Stop playing. Well, Thursday night. Stop playing with me.
I didn't.
Stop playing with me.
But y'all nice.
But let me tell you something. Don't let Duke in.
Jalen Johnson, in my opinion,
he
made the right decision. Jim Boeheim, he understands that. I think that he sees that there's a transition with the game as far as people having taken control, especially with the whole transfer thing as well, and being able to play right away. He even mentioned that. He was like, I really don't like it, but I can roll with it. And what's happening, in my opinion, is that the establishment is understanding that the players are starting to get a voice, and their voice is actually being heard through their actions more so than their mouth. And especially in the college game, when something like this happens, it's unprecedented because there's only 13 to 14 lottery picks, and he's one of them. So this isn't going to happen on a consistent basis to where somebody does this. Unless the team is trash, but he may have started a trend. Who knows?
Or is it? Because listen, I just think about this, like what you said. I think they seen it right on the wall, because I think in 2022 you're gonna be able to go straight from high school to the pros, and then if you're not good enough to just do that, there's another option for you as well, which is I'm going to go and be in the G League where I can actually get paid to play. Also, the G League is starting to get TV money. So they're starting to be on TV now as well. So I have this option where I can go, like Bibb said, I'm really here just to play basketball. I ain't here to get the education or anything like that. That's cool. I can do it online while I'm playing in the G League. That's cool. But there's another option for me now. I can go straight to the G League, be underneath a real NBA coaching staff, be under a team, showcase for a team, and still get paid while doing it. Like, this is my career path. Like, we're talking about experience. This is my career path. I'm getting the experience to play in the G League, to get developed, because being real with you, I still got to maintain, if I go to college, I still got to maintain a certain GPA or whatever, you know what I mean? I still got to do certain things. And there's just so many other pressures. Where in the G League, I'm going to get paid to play. And I can really focus whole 100% on basketball. And I think, again, some of the older coaches, some of the ones that's been doing this for a long time, who've been controlling that narrative, they don't like it. That's what I'm going to say. We seen Calipari send a player home, right? Because he wasn't, quote unquote, best for the team. Jalen Johnson did the same thing was best for the best interest for him, but it's getting a lot of buzz because he's the player. Again, just shut up and play. But when Coach Calipari said it's no issue, we know what's best for the player, what's best for our team. Jalen Johnson don't know what's best for him and his team. So Jalen Johnson quit on his team, but Coach Calipari didn't quit on his team when he sent his player home.
What you, bro?
So anyway, let's jump right there. Let's stick in that same realm. Let's stick in that same heart. Let's talk about Drummond, Andre Drummond. It's the same thing on a different level. The same thing on a different level.
Can I say something first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it is right, like you said, it is on the same lines. The thing that got me was the fact that the backlash that James Harden got when he went out of Houston, and the backlash that any player gets when they want out, even from the fact of like Deshaun Watson wanting out of Houston. It's almost like the media wants to control the narrative when it's the team ownership. And how is it that certain decisions get made and the media can be like, well, it's in the team's best interest, like you said with the coach, it's in the team's best interest, but then when the player wants to voice it out, he can be a cancer or it's in a negative. It all to me goes back to the establishment not liking the fact that the players are the ones that's speaking up and trying to take control. And I mean, that goes back to even like in the 80s and the early 90s when they were fighting for free agency. You know what I mean? That was something that they were against because that's the players taking control versus you being under contract for this how many years and having this loyalty. Like, people think because in the old days, like, yeah, they stuck with the teams and whatnot, they didn't have an option. Like that was what it was. Like, I'm not saying Jordan would have joined Detroit, you know what I mean? Because their mentality was what it was, but at the same time, like they didn't have that option of being able to choose their destiny. But the ownership always had the option of being able to trade them. And now we're getting to the point to where it's like, this is what I do. Like, if you had planned, in my opinion, if you had plans on trading me, if you think of trading me now, you thought about trading me 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, it had to be a thought. As a businessman, as a GM, as a smart GM, you got to think, okay, if the season's going to go like this, who are we going to let go to get what for next year? And I mean, to be honest, as Cleveland, you already knew what it was. The writing was on the wall. Like, you may be fighting for 8, and if not, then okay, won't you be a man about it and tell him from the gate like what it is? Like, listen, Andre, you know what I mean? Like, if things don't work out this season, during the All-Star break, we're probably gonna switch you off to somebody and probably get some picks or something like that. Just keep it a buck, yo. Like, what the Clippers did with Blake Griffin, that was horrible. Like, yo, you sign this man, had his jersey in the Raptors, like he gonna stay here, and then 6 months later you trade him, and then you supposed to think that I'm like gonna shake your hand when I see, like, nah, that's not no grown man. Like, at the end of the day, we're men. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether or not we're playing in the NBA, whether we are in the front office, we bleed the same blood. We talk. We got 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. You can come to me like a man and say what's in best interest for your business, and I can tell you what's best interest for mine. If we can't discuss that like men, and you gotta go behind the scenes and whatnot, and then I gotta find out through some other stuff, I can definitely see why anybody would be pissed off. And then for the fact to tell me that the one thing that I love that I get paid for, I gotta sit down and because you want to trade me, why didn't you tell me that from the gate? Like, you knew that from the gate. You knew that was a possibility, that like you was gonna let me go because of my contract, because of everything. We're not going to the finals. Let's be honest here. We're not making a run in the playoffs. Let's be honest here. So as a GM, we got to know, okay, if we don't win 20 games by such and such, then Andre, what teams do you want to go to? We can start talking to teams. Like, why isn't that the mindset, in my opinion? There needs to be more players in the front office that understand what the players go through, so that way they can have an understanding that, let me talk to this man because this man has a family.
Who's their GM now, Tamon?
Who is their GM? Who the Cavs GM? Who's your GM?
Kobe. You talking about the Cavs? It's Kobe Altman.
He used to hoop?
Nope.
No. He maybe
Kobe Altman.
But there needs to be a lot of players, in my opinion, in the top, because they understand the mindset, they understand the grind, they understand the family aspect, they understand the grown man aspect. I mean, I would think that somebody like Elton Brand would be able to reflect on both sides and talk to people. And I don't think Jimmy said his only issue was your man. Yeah. So it wasn't Elton. You know what I mean? So Elton must have kept it a buck with him. Hopefully. That's my 2 cents.
The first thing I thought about was Le'Veon Bell. That was the first thing I thought about. I was like, wow. So y'all telling him not to show up because y'all don't want him here. And Le'Veon was scrutinized because he was like, I'm not showing up because I don't want to be here. That's interesting in my opinion. But at the same time, it's weird that Andre, like the Cavs just made trades. Like, why wasn't he involved in it? Like that just didn't make no sense to me. You were involved in trades, and the thing about it was it had to be like what 5, 6 teams involved in that trade, if my memory serves me correct. And you mean to tell me none of them would have took him? And that's just weird to me. You were involved in a huge trade with a lot of teams. I'm pretty sure the Nets would have said, "Oh yeah, we'll take Andre Drummond," because I mean, you get Jared Allen from the Nets.
Yeah, yep.
I'm confused, people. You brought a guy in from another team at the same position as him, and you didn't just go ahead and send him to the other. It don't make no sense to me. Like, what was going on? Did you forget that he was on the roster when you were doing the trade? This makes it made no sense to me. It made absolutely no sense to me other than to say it's the Cavs. And they wonder why LeBron continues to want no parts of the organization. This is another example of that. Like, this is another example of why LeBron won't go home and stay home. That's the only thing I can say.
So it's just the Cavs.
This time a year ago, they made a trade to Detroit. That player that they got in return was Andre Drummond. What did you trade for him in the first place? Why did you trade for him in the first place to bring him in? We knew we thought that trade was suspect the first time y'all did it. Now you had the opportunity, like Biff said, it was a 14 trade, to move him, and you didn't. And this man is having a career year. Andre Drummond's having a career year for your team.
Would have been an all-star.
Career year for your team. Like you said, would have been an all-star. I think that there's a direct correlation that when you start sitting, because Cleveland, I think they was hovering around that 8th spot. Start sitting.
No. At one
they
point,
actually
they were like 4th or 5th.
Start sitting
they were
down.
4th or 5th in the East at one point.
Okay, now it's not making sense now.
Like none of it makes sense for what they're doing. And again, I think y'all saw a shiny object. Oh, Jared Allen. Yeah, we'll take Jared Allen. But let's be real, you're gonna have to pay Jared Allen as well. Like he ain't gonna be nobody that you're not gonna have to pay. You're actually gonna probably get paid more than Andre Drummond because of just the inflation and the way the contract is gonna go. So you have a bona fide all-star center who is balling right now, best career year, still young. He's only 27 years old. Who could be a vet on your team to help your young guys? But you sit him, and then, but like you said, you get mad at what James Harden did. The league gets mad at what James Harden did. James Harden did sit out games. He might not have showed up to training camp and talked to you, but now that seems like your pride hurt, like your butt hurt. But he showed up, did his job. You won't even allow this man to do his job because you're trying to trade him. I get it. You're trying to trade him. It's a business. But like Taman said, why not be forward thinking and say we got a bunch of teams that maybe lined up for Andre, and there are a bunch of teams that's lined up for Andre. I wholeheartedly believe that. But let this man who is having a career year do his thing and allow him to continue to play the game. But to sit this man, I think that's disrespectful. Same thing with Blake Griffin. To sit Blake Griffin, I think is disrespectful because this is what they do. Now I get it. I think Blake Griffin agreed to be sat. He probably just need the rest. Yeah, I mean, but I just don't like the double standard that they have in the NBA, where if a player wants out, he's castrated like and Biff said, the cancer. He's disrespectful. But if a organization wants you going, and again, let's say this: organization wants you going, and you ain't do nothing to get fired. You ain't do nothing to get fired.
You're doing your job very well.
You're doing your job. You're probably one of the best at doing your job.
Goals, all that.
But the organization wants you going. And now you a cancer. And now you and again not saying that Andre cancer, but and now you can't do your job.
Listen,
now let him start lashing out.
It's a business. It's a money thing. My man's contract must be eating up something, man.
It is. It's over. This is last year of his contract.
It goes all the way to the top, bro. Danny Gilbert know better, man.
But
plus, you need to stop buying up houses in Detroit too, man. Chill out. Stay in Cleveland, bro. But no, go ahead.
Yeah, that was listen. Let's stick basketball real quick. I know Taman probably be happy about this, so I'm gonna talk about his guy. So I got him beginning on here. Booker, CP3, who was more deserving of the All-Star nod? I'm gonna go ahead and say throw my thing out there right now. Then I'm gonna let y'all talk about it. But it was CP3. CP3 was more deserving of the All-Star nod, in my opinion. Than Devin Booker. Not saying that Devin Booker didn't deserve it, but when we look at the value that Chris Paul brings to that team, he is the heart and soul of the team, in my opinion. Devin Booker is the superstar of the team. Chris Paul is the heart and soul of the team, and he has them in a winning position. And again, it's crazy because we don't know if Devin Booker would have had them in a winning position based off of the bubble, but we know Chris Paul's track record. And I think that is why they voted him in, because everywhere he goes, he wins, and we don't know if that would have been the same case if Devin Booker was there.
I get it. And the reason why I asked this question was because when I seen the reserves, I was like, I know Devin Booker. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, Devin Booker disrespected. I'm like, man, who do you take off to put him on? Like, literally, who do you take off? Is it Gobert? No. Is it Donovan? The Jazz are the best team in basketball. They deserve two All-Stars, and those two guys are there. They're deserving. So is it CP3? Maybe they're saying that's what they're saying, that he should have been in for this representing for the Suns versus Chris Paul. I would say yes. I felt like as good as Chris Paul is, the Suns showed us who they were going to be last year. I felt like they were going to still be a playoff team. Chris Paul makes them an even better playoff team. He puts them in a higher seed in the playoffs. I still think they would have been hovering around 7-8 without Chris Paul. But Chris Paul makes them an even better team. Devin Booker is the best player on that team. Devin Booker deserves the All-Star nod over Chris Paul. Chris Paul is more important to their success. But Devin Booker is the better player. He deserves to be the All-Star. That's all I'm gonna say.
So this was tricky because, like, I stay. I mean, up late nights and catch the Suns on a few occasions, especially since they got them on television at times. And I forgot who they were playing one night, but they were down, and Chris Paul came down and scored like I think 8 to 10 straight points. And Devin Booker was in the game, but he was giving it off to him. Maybe he just had a hot night or whatever. And I was like, yo, the Suns are like third or fourth in the West. That's a Chris Paul thing. Because he did that in OKC last year too. You know what I mean? And I was like, let me look deeper. And Devin Booker, in my opinion, like you said, he's definitely all-star worthy, but then who do you take off? Was disrespectful, and I know Dom's gonna like this one. Was disrespectful the fact that Damian Lillard is not a starter over Stephen Curry.
Oh my God!
That to me is the most disrespectful.
I could see if you said Luka.
I could see if you said Luka.
But look, you just said Steph.
I did that, and I did it just because Dom.
I did it
because Dom. That's why I say him like that.
My man, twist a little too tight,
man. Yeah.
But no, it's disrespectful. He's not a starter. I mean, yeah, definitely over Luka. But
I agree with you. I agree with him. But it's a fan vote. Which is why Luka got in there.
They need to stop it.
Which is why Luka got in. Yeah, I mean, which is why Clay had votes. Which is why.
That's why Yao Ming was always the leading
over Shaq.
Man, all them people in China, man, that's not fair, yo. You got USA and overseas, bro. That's. Which
is why Luka is in, because he got United States and he got that overseas buzz. You know what I mean? So I do agree that Dame should have been an all-star, but like going a little bit deeper, we're talking about the whole Chris Paul thing, right? When I start looking into like the PER, I'm just gonna go PER, player efficiency rating. Chris Paul's player efficiency rating is higher than Devin Booker's as well.
I seen that as well. But this is also the lowest PER that Chris Paul has had. So I see him on the decline, which says a lot. About just like his IQ, about his leadership. Because even though he may not be as efficient, he's got that team in the right position. It ain't just Monty Williams. I think he's getting into Devin Booker's head, which is going to be a good thing. But
I think Devin Booker will get it years to come.
I still think CP3 should have been the all-star over Devin Booker.
I agree.
Even though Devin Booker is the better player, it's always like with the all-star, it's like that 1 year that you should have made it but you didn't. It's like you got to do it again in order for you to make it an all-star and then be consistent. And I mean, Devin has been consistent, but it just hasn't translated into team wins in a sense. And now you see the team wins, but is it because of Chris Paul or is it because of Devin Booker? Because Devin Booker is still going to be Devin Booker, but the Suns, like you said, we didn't know what was going to happen in the bubble, but the Suns were still with the Suns, and Devin Booker was still putting up 40 and 50 and 60. You know what I mean? So
they translate. Devin Booker was I'm gonna be real with you. Devin Booker was the West Bradley Beal.
Exactly. So, and the Wizards are one of the worst teams in basketball. Is Bradley Beal starting? Right?
He is,
because he's an all-star.
But he was an all-star before.
Like, I understand Chris Paul again. He's the most important when it comes to winning games. When it comes to winning games, he's more important than Devin Booker. That's no question about it. That has nothing to do with being an all-star.
But Bradley
all-star
Beal
is about numbers.
It is
in game. That's Devin Booker over Chris Paul right now.
But Bradley Beal has already been over that hump, so he's already in that realm of the consistency. So if you get it out of him, he's excelling regardless of his team.
Bradley Beal should have been an all-star last year. All the reason because we continue to go with this narrative that you have to be an all-star if you're winning. That has nothing to do with it's your individual performance that gets you into an all-star game. That's the only thing it should be about. Zach LaVine should have been an all-star years ago. It's about individual performance. Who cares about your team record? I don't. Do I care how many games you won? I don't want to see you play ball in the All-Star game. I don't care about how many games your team then won. Who cares about that? I want to see I want to see your game. I don't care about it. Who cares?
I think it's ritual and it's tradition.
It's weird, man.
It's tradition. Listen, for years Dame ain't get it. For years Dame got left off.
Disrespectful.
Tradition, man, in the West. It's tradition in the West.
It's weird.
It's gonna happen to Dev.
Man. I mean, it all worked itself out. It all worked itself out because to my man is being.
In all actuality, guys, in all actuality, I think he shouldn't have got a nod. Just being real with you, I think I said on the show, he hasn't played like an all-star.
Who, Steph?
No, I ain't talking about Steph. I'm talking about the boy that's averaging 22 points a game and 7 rebounds.
Who?
Anthony Davis.
Let's segue, and we're going to segue right into it. We're going to segue right into it. They won last night. But they've been struggling, and you can almost see the frustration in LeBron's face. Who were they get? Somebody, Utah, was smoking them the other night, and the frustration in LeBron's face is why I made that. Like, I got a feeling that there might be a fire sale coming in Lakerland. There's going to be some pieces moved. He doesn't trust that some certain guys on there is going to be able to get the job done. Wes Matthews has not been good, man. That's just he was supposed to be another guy, a 3-and-D guy, and he hasn't performed.
He has disrespected the Matthews name. No, I'm messing.
And I gotta be real. Even when AD is healthy, he has not been that good to me.
Anthony Davis or Wes Matthews?
What in the world?
Anthony Davis.
Yes, sir.
He hasn't been that good to me. I'm like, man, I'm looking like, man, he should be ready to kill because I know they won the championship and everybody has been saying out of their mouth that they respect it, but a lot of people disrespect that championship. They're like, man, that's happened in the bubble in COVID. You know what I mean? But now you should come back like LeBron coming out with this wasn't no fluke mentality. He out there balling. But the rest of those guys, KCP, Montrezl Harrell, those dudes ain't balling, man. LeBron is carrying the Lakers right now. And I think I'm hoping that he's not doing too much right now, that he's going to run out of gas come playoff time. I hope he doesn't. Because I'm not sure if your boy Tamon, I don't know if he built. I don't know if he got that purple tape, man.
Oh man. AD is still in my top 3 as far as bigs in the league. But
this year?
It is
This year?
I haven't seen much of him this year.
Gotcha.
So like I know early on I guess he was still putting up a little bit of numbers, but I mean when I tuned in, he's always been on the sideline. So I'm like, okay, I haven't seen that. And
says a lot.
Embiid is having a hell of a season from what I've seen. So
that's big in the game.
There's still that man in Denver.
That's big in the game.
There's still that man in Denver. But dang, you done got me off track.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, your man.
The Lakers. No, we're not just my man. The Lakers. We was talking about the Lakers. The writing was on the wall. I don't understand why they didn't sign a lot of the pieces that they had last year just to keep the chemistry going.
It went Hollywood on us.
I mean, and then the Marc Gasol at first on paper it was like, ooh, but then now that I see it, it's like, Marc Gasol is still old. Like
I seen Marc Gasol last year in Toronto.
He Paul little brother.
It was gone.
Kyle little brother. Yeah, he's not the same
little brother.
Yeah. So, I don't think they made a lot of smart decisions in the offseason, which has put them in this position now to where it's kind of like I heard LeBron was saying that they need to start hitting more threes. And that's why you got Wesley Matthews. And He's not panning out. I've heard rumors of them maybe even trying to get PJ Tucker.
Mhm.
That would be decent, but at the same time, like that would be strictly for. I mean, of course, it's championship or bust. But like, who do you give up?
It's still a dumb move in my opinion.
Like, because he's
They're gonna
36
go after,
himself.
I know they're gonna go after Boogie. I know they're gonna go after Boogie.
I heard
Again?
rumors said they're not interested. That's what I heard.
They
They went down that path before. I don't think
they want people to stay off that scent. But I got a feeling they're gonna sniff around there. But I want to see the market for him because this whole what Houston just did to me was weird.
very much so.
Especially considering that Christian Wood is out. Like I can understand you want to go young eventually, but Christian Wood is out right now. So
But what
like
I heard,
it was weird.
what I
They said
heard
they
is-
wanted to go with younger. They wanted to go
younger guy, and I heard it was mutual because Boogie wanted starter minutes.
Boogie need to stop, man. Boogie not Boogie no more, man. Boogie is DeMarcus right now.
But there is a spot where he can win and still get starter minutes
Where?
in Brooklyn.
I don't know about Boogie in Brooklyn, bro.
Why not?
He fits him perfect. He shoot
Perfect.
jumpers. He a big body.
He was already in Golden State before he played with.
Boogie don't look like Boogie, man. Look, them
He
ACLs.
don't
I
have
just
to
need to shoot
be.
jumpers.
He don't
Huh?
need to be there.
Just need
He
to
don't
shoot
be the
jumpers.
fourth wheel.
We don't play defense over here.
He don't be the fourth
They do
wheel.
play. Yo, DeAndre holds down that five, man.
Man, get out here.
They look like a better defensive team when DeAndre Jordan is on the floor.
Okay.
But what you?
Listen,
But where is he gonna get started minutes? So he's playing what, the 4?
five.
He's the 5.
What do you mean?
So he's
Come on the bench.
DeAndre Jordan is sitting to the back of the bus, man.
DeAndre Jordan played that D though, man. He
I
getting on
understand.
the board.
Okay.
Come on the bench. Come on the bench and play defense. Thank you.
Come on the bench. He can come off the bench and play defense, and he can still finish games.
He said he didn't
Well, he
come here
didn't
for that. He came
Who?
here to be the third of the big three, man. That's what DeAndre said, man.
Nah, bro.
And he's already now like ninth.
Yeah,
Like, what do you mean?
he's
And keep it real with you. Jeff Green start more games than DeAndre.
Like,
I
he's,
think DeAndre has, in my opinion, his game has elevated more when James Harden is in the game because he can play that pick and roll, and James Harden can find him. And I think that he's finding his way a lot better because it's starting to look a lot like how I did in what was it, LA? Yeah. So I think now it's fitting better for him. I don't know where Boogie will go. I don't see. I mean, if it works out in Brooklyn, by all means.
hold on.
But
Hold on.
Boogie, man,
You
Boogie's
don't
like-
you couldn't see Boogie in the pick and roll and pick and pop.
Nasty.
he not moving like Boogie no more, man.
He don't have to.
He's also not getting the minutes and the touches. Let's keep that into perspective as well. He's also not getting the minutes and the touches. He is scoring 10 points a game.
The
production-
that I seen him
the
in
production
Houston
is-
getting, he wasn't producing.
The production hasn't been there, but there's sometimes when I've seen him, he look like he still can move a little
I
bit.
watched him against my Sixers.
He's not gonna do it for like game after game after game, but he can do it in spurts within the game, especially on that team where KD's gonna get the ball more, James Harden's gonna get the ball more, Kyrie's gonna get the ball more. So his touches isn't gonna be great, but now he can get almost perfect touches. He can get wide open looks. He can get easy layups. He can get real good looks playing with those guys.
Clippers.
Same thing.
You can't see him with the Clippers.
Okay,
Same thing.
that I could see. I could actually see that a lot better versus
Toronto.
Mm,
They starting Aaron Baines.
yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, geez.
I was gonna say
Nah.
Boston.
No disrespect to Aaron Baines, but
I was gonna say
when you put it like
Boston. Boston is
I would say Boston.
Boston's slipping. All of a sudden, they might not make the playoffs. Like they need help and fast. So
So I can see him.
there's teams out there
in a couple of win now teams. You know what I mean? So who need bigs, and especially I'm gonna tell you right now, any team in the East, if you can find a big body, you gotta do it. Any team in the East, you have to because
you got to
that
deal
freight
with,
train coming.
yeah, you got to deal with that man that man in Philly.
So Yeah, but back to the Lakers, right? Fire sale. I can see them moving. Like for me, I think they should move Kyle Kuzma, just to get a better return, and to flesh out the roster.
But they like him.
I do like Kyle, but
No, I'm saying they like. I'm always hearing like he's always the piece that he's like, nah, y'all not touching him.
I feel you, but I'm off that. I was on that train at first. I'm kind of getting off that train.
He looks like he leveled out. Like he
honestly,
leveled out.
I think he peaked already.
Yeah,
I think we've seen the best of him. I think we've seen.
I don't think he peaked, but I think every time he's ready to take that next leap. Oh, here comes LeBron. Oh, all right. Okay, I'll take that backseat role. I'm thriving in that role. Oh, here comes Montrezl Harrell, and Dennis Schroeder. Like, I think that he needs to get out of that situation because they keep giving people his role.
Hey, I got a question. I got a question about LeBron, real quick. Can you be a great teammate and still stunt your teammates' growth?
Yes. LeBron James is the perfect example of that.
That's LeBron James's career.
Oh, okay, I'm just because I'm like, I feel like he stunted Kuzma's growth.
He did.
Because they pretty much play the same
game. He makes the game so much easier for everybody that you honestly really all you really need to work on is your jump shooting.
Is your role. But
that's
the thing is,
spacing.
Your jump shooting.
The thing is like you said, he makes it so much easier for everybody else. But I think that a lot of people don't look at LeBron as a heavy usage player when LeBron's a heavy usage player.
Let's just call it what it is. Let's just say it. LeBron James is the greatest point guard of all time. Let's just say it. Let's stop playing around with it. We keep wanting to make him a small forward. LeBron James is the greatest point guard
of all time. With Jordan athleticism. Bro.
Let's stop playing around with it. Let's just say it. He's the greatest point guard of all time. That's who he is. That's what he's always played. That's the position that he's always played. He's always played point guard. He might have been in line, but you might when you look at your little lineup card.
He's a small forward.
He's a small forward, but on the court, he plays point guard. He's always had. He's the greatest point guard of all time.
He takes positions away.
So easy. He made this game so much easier. Again, all you have to be is a good jump shooter. If you're not a good jump shooter, you're going to struggle playing with LeBron. It's just that simple. He will show your true shooting ability every time. We thought Mo Williams was great. Mo Williams was looking real good. Mo Williams was a ball player. He needed the ball in his hand. Mo Williams ain't no catch and shoot, dude. That's not his game.
Look good in Milwaukee. Got with LeBron.
You got to be catch and shoot. If you can't catch and shoot, if you have to have the ball in your hands and create, that's not you don't want to play with LeBron. It's just that simple.
Let's look at recent history, right? Anthony Davis, MVP candidate. Play with LeBron. Okay. Okay.
He ruins power forwards. Let's just keep it a beam. Name of every power forward that he's had that had that trajectory of being so great.
You coming to you, Chris Bosh.
You think he
Kevin Love?
I don't think Chris Bosh declined, but I think Chris Bosh wasn't on the trajectory of being superstardom-ish like when he was at Toronto.
He was carrying.
Chris Bosh was arguably a top 5 to the top 10 player in Toronto.
He was.
And all of a sudden, people were questioning him being an all-star in Miami.
Will.
Kevin Love was what? 30
he disappeared.
14 at one point. And all of a sudden, he was like 18 and 12.
You trying to say LeBron messed up his mental health, man?
I don't think he messed up his mental health.
No, again, he makes the game so easy for you. You don't work on it. I don't think these dudes really go out and work on their game because they like, man, he gonna take.
I got LeBron.
Take care of me. I don't think these guys start putting in the work like they should because they got LeBron.
I got LeBron, bro. I think I got to worry about protection.
I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him or his game. I just think those. I think it's his. I think his greatness makes other guys lax.
Okay.
because again, I know LeBron gonna have the ball in his hand. He's gonna have the ball in his hand majority of the time.
Yeah.
Like Biff said, only thing I need to do is do my job. This is why Kyrie don't want to play with him.
Exactly.
Nah, bro. I'm just as good. He thought he was just as good. Let's be real with you. He thought he was just as good.
Let's be real. He is.
he is. Buster.
He is.
He not LeBron-esque, but
He's not LeBron-esque.
Offensively,
he can hold his own.
Offensively, he's just as good.
Yeah.
Kyrie doesn't have the mental makeup of LeBron. That's where LeBron separates himself. Everybody, KD, Kawhi, all of those, Paul George, all of those guys offensively, probably just as good, if not better than LeBron. They got better moves. Most of them are better shooters. But when it comes to knowing the game and how to play it, he separates himself from them. That's where he separates himself. Is his mental
IQ.
approach to the game. His basketball IQ is crazy. He's the best point. He's the greatest point guard of all time.
Well,
that's the way to put it.
Yeah, that's why he can play 45. You know?
So is it Brooklyn, LA in the finals?
No.
No.
Actually, no.
It's Brooklyn, LA, but LA Clippers.
No, I don't think either LA team makes it, and I don't think Brooklyn makes it.
Well, I know you don't think. I know you don't think Brooklyn makes it. You're
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say both.
The money is in Nets Lakers, bro. The money was in
Milwaukee Lakers last year.
The money is definitely in Nets.
Actually,
Lakers.
the money wasn't even in the Lakers last year. It was the Clippers.
The money is definitely in Nets Lakers because you want to see KD.
Yeah.
You want to see that. But I think, and I'm just going to be real, I think Brooklyn has a greater chance of getting to the finals than the Lakers.
I agree with you. I think that there's a one glaring hole in Brooklyn, and if you don't fix it, you're not going to beat that. You're not going to beat the Sixers in the 7-game series. Just not. You're not going to beat them in the 7-game series. If you can't defend Joel Embiid, you are not going to beat them in the 7-game series.
They can cover up that hole.
Yeah, that's not. If that's the hole, they ain't got much to worry about.
Right,
you acting like they ain't got to go down the other end.
Embiid can get 50, bro.
That's their best end.
Make it take it.
That's their best end.
Look, this is my opinion. Embiid can average 40 in that series and still get swept.
Nope. No, he won't. If Embiid averaged 40 in that series, the Nets will get swept. Easy.
Joel Embiid can play insanely out of his mind. If Tobias Harris is non-existent, the Sixers will sweat.
So now we're talking about if my man Tobias don't. Well, what if Kyrie starts saging and everybody or off?
No. Tobias Harris is the X factor in that for the Sixers.
Okay, I got you. And Kyrie the X factor and down there.
Really the question mark of his team the past few years, right?
I got you. Tobias, he doesn't show up in the playoffs.
He's been dominant. We've been arguing if he's in the best big man in the league for years, right?
I got you.
He's all of a sudden he's just elevated himself
and healthy,
and he's staying healthy.
Very healthy.
Been all of a sudden
elevate himself.
They're all of a sudden they are looking like the team that they were supposed to be probably 3 years ago.
Is that Doc?
I think it's Doc, and I think it's maturity.
I think it's part Doc and it's part maturity. But Tobias Harris is going to be the X factor because they're going to need that guy.
Definitely, especially
unless
there's no unless, bro.
Yeah, no.
Unless.
What if they bring Kyle? Kyle Lowry.
I mean, if that happens, then we gotta get to that bridge. But with the roster that they have right now,
with the roster that they have, if everything clicks,
Kyle Lowry comes to Philly. Okay. Offensively, he is not going to give you much.
But defensively,
he's going to have to deal with that guy. Defensive, Kyle, I need you to lock up. That's the only thing. I don't need you to score buckets. I need you to defend that guy.
Defensively, he's gonna be a juggernaut.
Because he's gonna and Kyle usually struggles against better point guards offensively because that's what he has to do. He's got to lock in, but Kyle's leadership is gonna be the key to Philly. His leadership.
If they get Kyle, that I would say that would
the dynamic that'll change the whole.
But as presently constructed, if everything is like there's no issues, I'm still taking six. I will take the Sixers in a 7-game series if there's no issues.
You're supposed to.
No, not even. And again, I'm gonna take my fandom out because I like KD as well. I like that offense is nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you. Feel me? But in the 7-game series, I think it's just a bad matchup for the
it's only one
Nets,
of them.
because the Nets
one bad matchup.
No, it's not, because I can throw Ben Simmons on any one of your stars. I can throw Ben Simmons on any one of your stars.
But
there's
too many of them. There's too many of them. So if you put Ben on Kyrie,
I can throw him on any one of your stars and make it tough. If you put him
on James, then
you can only throw him on two.
I'm gonna take the person I would throw him on. I would throw him on James Harden.
Nobody can make it tough for KD. Nobody
can
make it.
No. Ben Simmons can definitely make it tough for him. He's still gonna give you 40. He's still gonna give you 40. It don't matter. But this is what I'll say to you. I throw him on James Harden.
Kevin Durant ever had a hard 40? It's almost effortless. Are you kidding me?
All right. You're right. Never mind. Anyway, I throw him on James Harden. James Harden's the one to make the offense go.
Right.
He makes it go.
That's who I would put. That's who I would put
him on James Harden.
Again, I think as presently constructed, it's Tobias Harris offensively. That's it. He has to show up offensively. He can't be 2 for 12.
He can't have this game in February.
He can't have those games. He can't have those games, man. He's got to have those solid.
You got a little like Detroit.
Listen, you got to take games to another level in the playoffs.
19 to 25 a night. He's got to have.
You need to go back to Detroit
because last year they shouldn't have got swept by Boston. If Tobias Harris played Tobias Harris-esque, they shouldn't get swept by Boston.
Yeah, no way.
Especially the way Joel Embiid was playing. They just shit. And the shooters got to show up too. The shooters got to show up as well. Yeah, I mean, so I love it. I think it's gonna be great. I think if Philly and Brooklyn isn't in the conference finals, it's a letdown somewhere. I also think Utah, after what I've seen out of Utah, I don't know with Utah because I seen when that healthy Clippers squad looked nasty against Utah. But I think the Lakers. I think the Jazz are better than the Clippers, even if AD's there.
I think Utah's got that Denver syndrome from a couple years ago, to where they running that first, second, third race all through the regular season, but like they might make it to the conference finals if they get like the right matchups. You know what I mean? Like if they play,
they gotta stay first seed though.
I mean, they might get it in the second.
No.
Seventh.
No. If they
got to get the first seed.
Yeah, they have to get the first seed because they fall to the second seed, and then they got to play one of them LA teams in the second round.
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, you need the LA teams that beat up on each other. That way, when they see you in the conference finals,
they got to be either 1 or 4. They got to be either 1 or 4 to make it to the finals.
But you also want to hope that Denver doesn't get into that 4 or 5 as well.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the scariest team right now. I know I'm a fan, but the scariest team right now, if they make a move, and the move I'm hearing that they could make, is Golden State. I'm hearing the move that they can make is Nikola Vucevic. If they can bring Vucevic back to that team, they can make noise.
Why would Orlando do that?
Because they are.
Because they are.
This is the most consistent player that we've had since.
And where are we going with him?
We got to keep him at least. Got to do something. He the only one. He the only one.
That's that one. And not having the best player's best interest in mind, man. Why would you continue to want to have that man suffer like that?
They 13 and 21 right now.
Because
Like,
he's the only one. We got to figure out around him.
we can be bad without him. And then at the same
I'll give
time,
you that.
and then at the same time, why do I keep wanting to finish 7th and 8th? I want to get into this lottery and possibly get a big
game changer.
Why am I keep wanting to finish 7th and 8th and not get in the lottery? That's bad management, in my opinion. That's stupid. That's just bad.
There's a lot of that in the NBA.
We're gonna keep you because you're our best player, but we don't make it to the playoffs.
Let's keep finishing 7th and 8th. We're not gonna get no free agents.
Why
And
not?
we don't
Orlando weather is nice. Orlando weather is nice.
Okay, if I gotta go to Orlando or Miami, they're both in the same state. I'm gonna go to Miami.
That's different. I mean, but like you said, it's back to the organization because like people want to go to Miami. A lot of reasons, yeah, the weather, but Pat Riley has a winning culture. So
I think I like Steve Clifford. I think he has a winning culture as well. But I just think again in that East, you're not gonna be a top 4 seed. You might not be a top 6 seed. You have to listen. If I can get something in return for him, I in a winning organization can help him get to the next level, which I think Golden State can.
Because Golden State got some stuff with them.
Yes,
they got picks,
young players.
Even if you trade them and you get like Pascal and a pick, like that's not bad.
Let's be real. They do have Minnesota's pick.
Exactly, like you just straight up Minnesota pick from Vucevic, some cash or something. Like who knows, man? Do something.
But over there, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm with you though, Dom. I think that I think the Golden State's really good, man. I said it at the beginning of the year that I thought that they were going to be right in the middle of that Western Conference, man. Steph is that good. We're gonna stop playing around with the babyface assassin. He's that good. Like that's what he do. And
I'm looking at the record.
And Draymond Green is. Remember at one point people were talking about Draymond Green was a top 20 player in the NBA.
Yep.
If he get back into that conversation,
and he's trending, and Kelly Oubre is getting better, and Andrew Wiggins is just they found a role for him. They have not met. And here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing about it. They've had one of the toughest strength of schedules in early on. Right now, I think they are positioned in the All-Star break to be 5. Going into the All-Star break to be the 5th seed position.
I give it to Steph, man.
Woo!
He still can't beat Dame.
Make a move. If they can make a move,
he still can't beat Dame 1-on-1.
Man, he will torch Dame 1-on-1.
Whoa, I don't know about torch.
Torch Dame 1-on-1.
They'll torch each other. Stop that.
I agree with you. They'll torch each other.
That's one I think I might pay to see.
I think one-on-one in team basketball is totally different because I think LeBron may torch. I think LeBron may torch MJ because it sucks.
Well, yeah,
because it sucks.
Yeah, we know.
But I'm gonna tell you this: I think ain't nobody beating Kevin Durant.
He's 7 foot, bro.
And so what? Ain't nobody beating
7 foot.
Ain't nobody beating Kevin Durant.
He's a 7 foot guard.
I disagree.
I'm gonna keep it real with you.
How do you guard that?
I think Kyrie might torch a lot of people, especially if it's make it take it.
That I agree with.
Yeah,
that I agree with.
Make it take it. Good luck.
I'm telling you right now, you have an all-time tournament of one-on-ones. There's 4 guys, and there's only the final 4 is going to be Wilt, Shaq, MJ, and Kobe.
Okay, I give you that.
That's the final 4. Yo, I love KD. I love KD. But if he runs into Shaq, it's only gonna he better make every jump shot.
No, which Shaq? Orlando Shaq?
I don't care which Shaq. He better not be LA Shaq.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
LA Shaq is not fair.
He better get the ball first. Better get the ball first. Because if he doesn't get the ball
he's backing him down all day.
chicken.
I gotta throw Steph in there because if we're talking about one-on-one, and if you're gonna get if Steph against Shaq, if you're gonna give Steph every shot,
we're going too far. We're going too far now.
listen,
better get the ball.
He just added Shaq and Wilt in there. Now I gotta add Steph in there.
Jump shot. He better make every jump shot.
He made 100 and something seconds.
That is I don't even know what to call that. If Shaq versus Steph.
That's not even fair.
Barbecue chicken. I don't even know what
it is. Barbecue chicken.
But
no. That's something way more.
It depends on who get the ball first.
KD's a footer, so I think that's why.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Tamon. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Tamon. Our footers aren't made equal. I don't give a goddamn.
I know.
If KD's a footer, if he go up against Shaq and Shaq got the ball first and it's make it take it, ain't nobody beating him.
I know. I'm just saying, KD is a 7 foot.
And then call fouls.
KD is a 7 foot guard, so like that, he's different. Like Shaq was different, of course, because of his muscle and all that. He had agility as well, but he got more muscular as the years went on. KD's been bony all his life, bro, and he got a little handle with him. He got a hezzy with him, and he can jump, and he's 7 foot. Ain't nobody touching that jumper, bro, except for Wilt.
Players I've seen
would be
KD, Kobe, and Melo.
So scorers? What'd you say?
Yeah. If we talking about one-on-one players, KD, Kobe, and Melo. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I'd be very biased if I said Melo, so that's why I ain't even say it.
Oh, you said you saw, right?
No, I don't give a god doing what era one-on-ones.
Nah, man, come on. We're talking about a guy that like almost every year of his career he led the league in scoring. We got to stop playing
Jordan. We talking about Jordan. Okay. But I'm gonna say this. Melo like 30 pounds bigger than Jordan. So 30 pounds heavier, 2 inches taller. Can do it from the post outside. Come on, man.
Melo has to get the ball.
Jordan is great. I say Jordan is great. Jordan's the GOAT. But let's be real. Let's keep it 100. He ain't checking KD. Let's be real. He's not checking KD, not checking Melo. That's what he had Pippen for.
He could check Melo. I don't know about KD.
He's not checking him.
No, he's not checking KD or Melo.
Again,
I think Melo, yeah.
Competitive, no. The competitiveness in him makes him different. We're talking about mano y mano. We're not talking about in the NBA where he don't have to go play the guy. He has to defend him one-on-one. He's a different animal. His mentality is different. If you're going same way with Kobe. Kobe's no bigger than MJ.
I got you.
Both of them are gonna find a way. They're defensively. They're gonna find a way.
Whether
they're
gonna try.
I give you that.
To make it.
They'll try.
I'm not. They're gonna find a way to make it difficult.
Are you telling me nobody ever dropped 40 on Jordan before?
That's not what I said.
So what I'm saying is, on a one-on-one, when you gotta guard this man all game, he's gonna give you 40.
That's not what I said.
What was that? Mitch Richmond?
Yeah, like AI had a really good game that night that he crossed you up. He had a really good.
He did.
That night. Everybody has their nights. MJ gonna get bucket on too. Like that's part of the game.
So he can't check Melo.
But again, we're talking about mano y mano. MJ is a different. People are wired different. He's one of those. They're just wired.
I don't know about KD though.
I'm not saying he's gonna lock him up.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying though.
Gonna lock him up. He can't. Like KD is one of those guys. He's always in self-check. That's the only person that can stop him.
Right.
Like you can put your hand up, but you really
that's all you can do.
Put your hand up. You can give the effort.
You don't even see that. He don't even see that hand.
He doesn't even see it. He doesn't even see it. Like, he knows it's there.
Yeah.
Like, but
you're like, I feel something down there.
I know it's there, but it don't really matter. He's in self-check. Again, that's why I say he better get the ball first.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. That. But that's the only thing he better make because when he get on the other side of the ball against Kobe, MJ,
That's what I said, man. Make her take it.
Rat for him. It's a rat for him.
See, I don't know. Tough.
It's a rat
Tough.
for him, man. It's a rat for him. He
Tough.
got no.
Listen, I guess that's a segment. I guess that's a segment we can debate and talk about. Let's get back to our topics. What we NFL? Let's start with one. I think that we can breeze through. For me, it's simple. Should the Steelers want Big Ben back? No.
Why?
No. He ain't the same Big Ben.
What are your options?
Whoever is not named Big Ben.
What in the world?
I'll take anybody. I'll take Mason Rudolph right now.
Mason Rudolph.
Wait a minute. Did they not go 11-0? Did they not go 11-0 last year?
They did go 11-0.
Okay.
But a lot of that was defensively.
It don't matter. Did you answer the question as Big Ben as the quarterback? Did they not go 11-0?
Big Ben cost him a couple games.
He did.
They were 11,
like 4 or 5 games.
Still like second and third on most people's power ranking.
Everybody power ranking.
They were, but they were 11-0.
Nobody believed in them. Okay. Pittsburgh has a lot of holes that they need to fill. A lot. You know, Pouncey just retired.
Yeah, I was going to say that line.
They have a lot of holes that they need to fill. Bud Dupree.
Juju.
Gone.
Running back.
I'm not getting ready to give Ben a whole bunch of money.
No.
$20 million.
No. He's slated to make like 21. Yeah, but the cap is like 40 something, right?
Yeah.
So he gotta either give back some money or restructure something.
I'm taking Dwayne Haskins money.
I don't even want him.
He out here talking about I'll play for free.
I don't want him. I don't want him.
He doesn't. Wait a minute. So we let Eli have his ring around the rosy, but Big Ben can't.
Hold on, time out, T. Martin.
But let's also put it in perspective.
Years ago, out of the
let's also put it in perspective.
I'm consistent with it.
The Giants were bad, just like Eli was bad. If the Steelers was terrible and had no shot, okay, Big Ben legacy, ride it out. With Big Ben, they definitely aren't making a run. If they could bring somebody else in, they can fill out the roster, and they can go make a run based on their defense alone.
Let
Big Ben cost them. Listen, if they don't have those 5 turnovers in the Browns game, they win that game. 4 of those were on Big Ben. The one that went over his head wasn't on him, but the rest of the 4, they on him.
Players mess up.
Yes.
Often, bro. You mess up a little too often, bro.
Listen, man. Everybody had their ring around the rosy, bro. No. Except for even Phillip Rivers had his ring around the rosy in Indianapolis. So let my man. This is the end of the 2003 class.
I talk Phillip Rivers out of retirement before I give Big Ben.
Wow.
He looked better.
He did. I give you that. But man, he's won 2. He's won 2 rings.
No, don't do that.
We did it to Jim Boeheim. Jim Boeheim's still there because of that one.
Did I not just advocate for him firing?
Yeah, you did. Big Ben gave you 2, right? He had you running last year. He deserves this last ring around the rosy.
Did he really give you 1?
No, he gave you 1.
He did make the throw to Santonio Holmes. He did make the throw.
The first one he didn't give you. He was on the road for the ride.
Had the interception return. That's a touchdown off the board and a touchdown for the Cardinals.
It is what it is. What it is.
That's the difference in that ball game.
He was the quarterback for 2 of your championship teams. How about I word it like that?
All right, there you
go. He has 2 rings as
James Harrison was the real quarterback for your championship.
So he ain't win no rings because I know he ain't win the first one.
Nope, he didn't win no rings. He was just a quarterback.
I mean, he had a bad performance in the game. He went like 9 for 20 something and they still that's amazing. Either way, he's been the quarterback in 2 of your championship teams.
And
I think that he deserves a right.
No, you know what?
Ride out in the sunset.
You know what?
Last go.
This is my argument against that. Who did he beat in that last Super Bowl? Who was the quarterback?
Kurt Warner.
What Kurt Warner do right now?
He out here.
He's an analyst. He's an analyst.
Analyzing.
And on top of that, ain't he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, but can I say this?
That means he's been retired for quite some time.
Let's go one further.
I'm not living and giving this guy a contract because he won a Super Bowl over a decade ago.
But
2 years ago, Big Ben wasn't there, right? Duck Hodges, they almost won. They almost went to the playoffs with Duck Hodges. Duck Hodges.
No.
So okay, then
they almost made the playoffs 2 years ago.
Is Big Ben Hall of Fame?
Huh?
Yeah,
Big Ben Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's a famer. He's a famer.
That has nothing to do with
him or Eli. Him or Eli.
Him. Big Ben.
You mean him or Eli? What?
If you got to pick,
I'm thinking Big Ben.
one is staying home, the other one's in the Hall of Fame.
Now listen, if you're asking me to win a game,
hold on, who should be in the Hall? Okay, I think Big Ben.
Big Ben to get in.
So then I think he deserves his right to get that one last season, regardless of what the Steelers.
He just had his one last season.
He just had it last year.
Yeah, last year.
That wasn't it. He said that wasn't it.
Yes, it was.
He said he had to announce it. He had to make it known.
That's his fault that he wasn't forward thinking.
I can say, listen. I can say back.
That was his fault that he wasn't forward thinking. It's also his fault that he didn't play well enough to make us think that he deserves one more season if he wanted to have a farewell tour.
He knew he wasn't getting that $41 million. He, like you said, he should have been forward thinking.
Yo, he should have went out and hooped. He should have went out and balled out of his mind.
He can't. He old, bro.
You're making a point.
Exactly.
You're not making the point for your own argument right now, Tobias.
I'm not. I'm being real. At the same time, though, my man should get his shot.
Let me ask you a question.
Listen,
what more could the Steelers have done around him? Weapons, plethora. Offensive line, good. Defense, great. What's the common denominator?
He wasn't the common denominator. He just messed up in a couple games.
That's all it takes.
But who's your options? Who is your options, though?
Anybody.
Let me ask this question: If Jameis Winston becomes available, I'll plug him in right now.
But he's not. He's in New Orleans, and Sean Payton likes him in New Orleans.
Just saying.
So your options right now are Dwayne Haskins, who they label as having character issues, I guess.
Jimmy Garoppolo. So the Big Ben Garoppolo's available in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I take Mitchell Trubisky.
Stop,
man. I trade up to get a rookie.
I can see.
Kyle Trask gonna be sitting right there at 29.
I am not bringing.
I'm not impressed with him.
I'm not impressed with Big Ben.
Kyle Trask. I'm not impressed with him.
Oh,
he said, "Oh, I'm not impressed with him, bro."
Well,
we can get into that.
Get into it right now. Get into it right now.
Get into that next.
But man, listen. Big Ben knew what he was doing when he went to. He said, "Forget Tomlin, forget the GM. I'm gonna go to Art himself and talk to him to make sure my spot is solidified." And Art said he gonna come back, so he gonna come back. Listen, the Steelers are ran by the Rooneys. He knew who to go to. He went and talked to him, and they're gonna work something out.
Whoa. That wasn't the question. The question wasn't whether or not they were gonna bring him back.
It should.
Should they?
No.
Now, I agree with you. I believe they're gonna do
back.
He's bringing back, and as a Ravens fan, I'm excited about it.
We had this conversation before. We had this conversation last time. He's the 4th best quarterback in that division.
Please bring him back. I'm excited about.
He's not the 4th best quarterback in the division. Come on,
man. He's probably the 5th best
Wait a minute,
quarterback.
wait a minute, wait a
Best
minute.
quarterback in the
He's
division.
probably the 5th best quarterback in that division, man. I take RG3 over before I take Big Ben right now.
Stop, man. Come on now. That's
Actually,
being absurd right now.
I take Trace McSorley before I take Big Ben.
Because of the youth. Man, okay.
Trace McSorley showed me something. He showed me something. He had a moment. He showed me something. Big Ben has those flashes. Yes, he's Big Ben, but the consistency is not there no more. We're talking about a future Hall of Famer. He is. I'll give him that. He's a future Hall of Famer. And that team last year was 11-0 with a future Hall of Fame quarterback, and no one trusted it. It's time to move on, bro.
Unless you were Steelers fans.
It's time to move on, man. It's time to move on.
Bye, Ben. Bye.
I think you deserve your shot, Ben.
Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season. I'm gonna
if
say this.
Eli did it, you can do it, brother.
I'm gonna
And
say this.
Eli's in commercials now.
Mike Tomlin winning streak is in jeopardy if they bring Big Ben back.
It's not.
That's what I'm
They're
in jeopardy.
okay. Okay. What are your options? That's all I'm saying.
Not Big Ben. Let's move forward to these quarterback prospects, top 5 quarterback prospects. We want to rank them.
Yeah, we can rank.
You want to?
All right, cool. Number 5 for me is Mac Jones. Mac Jones is number 5. And the crazy thing is, I love him. I think he's a beast. I just think I'm higher and more bullish on the other players, but I think Mac Jones can be a franchise quarterback. And that's saying something. If you get the 5th best quarterback in the draft as a franchise quarterback, that's saying something about the others. Mac Jones is a winner. Me and Bill been talking about all the time. If you open, the ball is dropped because the ball is dropped not because of Mac Jones, because you ain't do your job.
Layup.
If you open, he gonna find you, and it's gonna be on point. I must say I see a lot of Drew Brees type esque, Joe Burrow type esque stuff with Mac Jones.
I like Mac Jones, but I think that him and Tua was a product of having great receivers as well as having a great offensive scheme to get you guys open as well. Not knocking Tua at all because he deserved to be where he was at, but I think that having that has elevated him to where he's at. But I still see I don't know about on Sunday for him. But at 5, I got Kellen Mond from Texas A&M.
Oh my God!
Why? What has happened? He's been consistent for. I mean, like
I turned my strobe light on.
He's been consistent in my opinion since he's been a quarterback there. I mean, like he may not win the big game, but I mean, he's had consistent quarterback play, and he reminded me a lot of that. So I got him at 5.
I'm taking Kyle Trask over Kellen Mond.
Tamon, you and I would think alike, bro.
Oh my God!
I was debating Kellen Mond at 5 myself. Kellen Mond at 5 myself. But
hold
at
on,
5,
real quick.
What?
Bill, we've been doing this show for a minute.
What's up?
Neither one of us has ever been high on Texas A&M. And now we talk about Kellen Mond is debating at the number 5 quarterback?
Yeah.
He's been consistent to me.
So is Kyle Trask. So is Matt Jones.
Okay. Hold on, man. I was debating. I didn't say I hated him.
I was debating.
I was debating. I got just because I haven't seen a lot of it in games. I've seen film, but I haven't seen like games of him, and that's Trey Lance. That's where I got it at 5. Like I haven't, like you can see the measurables and you can see the highlights, and you can say, man, this kid He could do a lot. He could do pretty much do it all. But seeing him in actual game situations, I haven't seen a lot of that. So that's why I got him at 5. But I was debating with Kellen Mond, and here's why. I'm not a Jimbo Fisher guy. I think Kellen Mond's struggle was Jimbo Fisher's struggles. Because Jimbo Fisher, to me, he's good. I think he's a good recruiter. But I don't think Jimbo Fisher is a great game manager. I don't think he handles and manages games well. Like Florida State always had talent. Texas A&M has talent. But the results don't always measure up to the talent that they have on the field. So I always thought it was Jimbo Fisher kind of holding Kellen Mond back. And I'm with you, Tamon. He does remind me a lot of Dak. I wouldn't be surprised if Kellen Mond has success in the NFL.
So I'm just browsing through some stuff right here. Just Shane Purcell, the SMU quarterback, Brock Purdy, Ian Book had better numbers than Kellen Mond.
When has a Notre Dame quarterback paying down?
Hold on. Having better numbers don't mean you're a better quarterback.
I know.
Peyton Manning has better numbers than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady's the better quarterback.
No, he's not. Anyway, Tom Brady's not a better quarterback than Peyton Manning. He's not. He's the GOAT because he has the championships. That's why he's the GOAT.
Because he's the better
No,
quarterback.
Not because he's a better quarterback, because he has a better team and a better coach. You put Peyton Manning on that team, he got about 8 of them things. Anyway, that's not the debate that we have.
That is.
So Kellen Mond is better than Kyle Trask. That's what we're saying.
In my opinion, yes.
In my opinion, I think they're the same. I wouldn't put one over the other. Like there's nothing definitive about Kyle Trask that makes me say he's better than Kellen Mond. But there's also nothing definitive about Kellen Mond that makes me say he's better than Kyle Trask. I think they both do things good and they both do things not so good. But I wouldn't say either one of them is definitively better than the other.
I like Kyle Trask over him. Okay. We ain't gonna beat this down.
It's just
I think you can make the argument that Tamon made about Mac Jones. I think you can make that about Kyle Trask.
About him, you don't know about him on Sundays?
You don't know about him on Sundays against better talent. And I think that a lot of his success was due to the weaponry around him.
But so is he not going to have weapons in the NFL? Is he not going to play against, like Kyle Trask played against the SEC all season? He destroyed the SEC all season. Same thing with Matt Jones. Matt Jones played SEC talent all season, destroyed the SEC all season.
Yeah, but he also played in the East against like Vanderbilt.
SEC talent. Who? I'm sorry.
Vanderbilt.
I'm sorry. Tell me who Kellen Mond was playing against?
Alabama every year.
Alabama every year.
1 year? Once? And every year, what happens to him?
They probably lost.
They get smoked.
Okay. Every year he gets smoked. Okay.
I
seen Kyle Trask against Bama.
Listen,
nobody.
I think against Bama, he looked good.
The main thing
numbers be fine.
I think Kyle Trask against Bama, he looked good.
He can't stop Devontae Smith from catching the ball. He can't stop Najee Harris from running the ball. He can't do it.
We got the same argument. Listen. I like Kyle Trask. Put up numbers.
Kyle Trask is good. Kyle Trask is good enough. Again, I don't think he's definitive. I don't think you can make an argument.
I can definitively say better than Kellen Mond. But
no way.
Yes, I can. Definitively. Kyle Trask better than Kellen Mond. Definitively. I will say it. He's better.
Who you got it for, man?
Number 4, I got Ohio State's I can't even think of his name now.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Justin Fields, number 4. Justin Fields, number 4.
Why? Why?
Why?
4, yeah.
I just think that I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's a beast quarterback. But I think I'm picking off trajectory and potential. And I think that I thought that he was a little bit faster than I thought that he was. I saw him get caught a couple of times. And I don't think he has a bigger arm than what I thought. As big of an arm as I thought. I also think that he's he's not an anticipatory thrower. Like he needs to see his guys get open, stuff like that. So that's why I think that I have him at number 4.
It was a toss up because like I haven't seen much of the guy from North Dakota State, Trey. Yeah, so I had to look him up, and it was hard finding stuff on him. But I see that he's got a lot of hype, and Justin Fields with him, he looks a lot of his receivers down, and he had a lot of talent around him as well. And I seen the year that Dwayne Haskins had at Ohio State, and then how he looks now in the NFL. And it's like I think Justin Fields is better. At the same time, though, he has a lot of those traits, and Ohio State quarterbacks don't pan out too well in the NFL. He could be the one that breaks the mold because I think he has Cam-like features.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the boy North Dakota State at 4 because I haven't seen too much of him, but I really wanted to put Justin Fields at 4, but he's at 3. So, but yeah, Trey, whatever his name is, at 4. Yeah, I seen a little bit of him. Seen where he didn't throw any interceptions one season, which
41-0.
That's neither here nor there. I mean, because I did see a couple tapes where he could have got picked off, and my man dropped it.
But he didn't.
But he didn't. You're right. But it didn't happen. But I mean, the competition, his size, kind of gets to me, and I mean, it looked like it was a lot of the scheme that helped him as well.
But isn't that college football though?
It is, but at the same time, you want to be able to throw people open in the NFL.
I got you.
I mean, if you're able to show that within the scheme, in my opinion, then by all means, and I think the number 1 guy shows that.
Yeah. Who's the number 1 guy? Anyway.
But yeah, go ahead, Bev. I got North Trey at 4.
Oh, snap!
Who's that number 1 then?
Trey Lance.
Hold on. My number. I don't know who's that number 1, but number 4. My number 4 guy. I got Justin Fields as well. I'm just not sold. I've never been sold. I'm sold on the athleticism. I think that's clear. But I'm not sold. I'm not sold on him a bit and being able to make all the throws at the next level. But I'm also kind of biased because not on the Michigan,
Ohio State. Okay.
but on the fact that yes, Ohio State quarterbacks do not transition well to the NFL. It's kind of like Oklahoma quarterbacks. Not until recently, before they would come to the NFL, they'd be trash. They were winning Heisman trophies and not getting drafted sometimes. Like, so numbers to me really don't matter. That's why, you know what I mean? It's about ability. Justin Fields, his numbers is crazy. I'm not sure about the ability, but I feel like if he gets to the right coach, if he can be coached up, he can be good.
I can agree with that. My number 3 is Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is a number 3. I think he has all the talent, arm strength, and everything in the world. He is a prototypical.
Oh, you're really high on Kyle Trask now that I think about it. You must be really high on him. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry. My apologies.
Prototypical quarterback, but he's small. I think he's like 6'3", 210. Kyler Murray's small too, you know what I mean? But Zach Wilson isn't as athletic as Kyler Murray either. So, and the talent level that he played against as well is a question mark that people will talk about. But I'm just talking about his skill. I think Zach Wilson has all the tools to be a great franchise type quarterback. But I just think the other two, I'm higher on the other two quarterbacks.
Well, like I said, I got Justin Fields at 3. He looks like he could be Cam, in my opinion, with the athletic ability, the strength that he has, the arm strength that he has. But it's just the one knock that I've always had about Cam is like when he throws, he's not throwing nobody open. Like he's throwing to the open guy. Like he's never had that to where, in my opinion, like he's really reading the defenses and slicing them up. You know what I mean? And that's frustrated me because that's always a knock always on the quote unquote black quarterback is that he's always got it athletically, but as far as understanding the game and reading the defenses, they don't really get. I mean, even going back to like Vic and I mean Randall, he didn't start really doing it till like late in his career with the Vikings, where he was like really sitting there in the pocket. But the main thing is the looking down the receivers. You can't do that in the NFL, bro. Like safeties is all on that. And
Big Ben.
He survived in the league 18 years. So if you going up Big Ben and we comparing Justin Fields to Big Ben.
I'm talking about last year.
18, okay, last year. But two knocks is the Ohio State's don't pan out well, and he looks down his receivers very much so. And him being at Ohio State, I think that their recruiting class was 5 times better than the next person's, which is saying a lot considering I'm a Michigan fan and Jim Harbaugh. It's neither here nor there, but they recruit very well. Urban Meyer has left the system. Yeah, I'm not. So I mean, I think it's just a lot that comes with that, and I think if he had stayed at Georgia and performed well at Georgia, I would be saying something different, but he didn't. So it is what it is.
Three. I got Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
He said yes.
and here's the thing. Everything's, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And he's too good to be true. He's too good to be true. I don't think he's the perfection that everybody is trying to make him out to be. I've seen way too many hiccups over the past 2 seasons. But they it's almost as if they
glance over him.
They want him to be the number one
guy.
pick.
Yeah.
It's like they want it. Like they're like every flaw doesn't matter because the good things outweigh them. And I'm like, nah, bro. Nah. I think he's really good. I do think he's really good. And I do believe that he's going to go over number 1 overall. But I don't think he's the best quarterback in this class. I don't. And that's why I got him at 3.
Trevor Lawrence, number 2. Trevor Lawrence is number 2. It's just off of what Biv just said.
Oh, man.
I look at 2 games, right? And it's more, I mean, because I know he struggled against the Wake Forest team as well. But the 2 big games that he was in, outside of his freshman year, where there wasn't a lot of tape on him, LSU, Ohio State, he lost both of them. Heisman Trophy, he has none. Like Biv said, we are projecting him as the guy based off of an old system. 6'6", big, strong, Caucasian quarterback, sit in the pocket.
Put that in there.
It's real. It's real. Like, Caucasian quarterback, you know what I mean? 6'6", blonde hair.
Long lock.
He fits the mold. He fits the mold. And not saying that he can't play because he can, but he does fit the mold. But like, I think what makes him different is like what people is that Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck effect. They see Andrew Luck, and I remember having the debate Andrew Luck or Russell Wilson. I always said Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Andrew Luck in my opinion. Yeah, I mean at the time. So that is what people are trying. They see. I visualize what I want in a quarterback. That's the guy. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence. NFL not going that route no more, but we still want that guy. And I don't think that he's that guy. I think he's going to be a great quarterback, but I don't think that he is the move that the NFL is going with. And again, I think in big time games, he shows up smaller than the other quarterbacks they face.
Well, I thought I was going to be shocking. I guess not. But Biv having Trevor at 3, and then you having Trevor at 2. I thought I was going to have a shocker with Trevor at 2, but I got Trevor at 2. A lot of hype came because he came. No, he didn't come after Deshaun, did he?
Nope. He was Deshaun, Kelly Bryant, Trevor.
Kelly Bryant, that's who it was. So Kelly Bryant got kicked out of the mix to where like he's nowhere to be found, and took his job and
went on to win a national championship.
Yeah,
the same year Kelly Bryant was undefeated. Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, they finished undefeated that year.
But they wanted to make the switch. And like you said, it could have been politics. Who knows? But he's had the awe or the it factor that's been placed on him since he's been at Clemson, and it's looked good. But I think that overall he's been surrounded by the Clemson program, and then for him to take on the number 1 pick, which looks like to be the Jaguars, it's going to be hard for him to transition from having all that talent around him in the ACC, not the SEC, but the ACC. That's not like Florida State has had some down years. Virginia's always Virginia Tech, just Duke, Wake Forest. Like you got an easy run before you get to that playoffs. Let's be quite honest here. So and you're really an SEC school in the ACC because you're recruiting an SEC country. But that's neither here nor there.
We're gonna see how good Trevor Lawrence was or is next year.
Yeah,
when DJ take over.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But at times he has been suspect. And against suspect teams as well. Yeah. So and that running game has carried him too.
Yep.
And so I got him at 2.
I got Mac Jones at 2.
Oh my gosh. Really?
I knew you had Mac Jones.
Why are you so high on him?
Mac Jones. We never ever. Why do we like to do that?
With talent.
Yeah,
because he got talent because he got all this.
Joe Montana is no less a great quarterback because he played with Jerry Rice.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. People say.
Why is Mac Jones that much not a good quarterback? Because he played with those guys. It's not his fault that Alabama has turned into wide receiver U. It's not his fault that he had a plethora of weapons. Now, if he was struggling, but they were winning in spite of his struggles, then yeah, a dude balls out. The scheme is set up for guys to get open and everything. Yeah, I understand it, but he hits them. He hits them where they supposed to. The ball is where it needs to be. He makes all the throws, and they are continuing to win. Like if they were struggling offensively and the defense was carrying them, or it was just the running game, the passing game was so good that people are acting like Najee Harris probably ain't the best running back in the country. That's how good the passing offense was. That's how good it was. That and it's that guy at quarterback. I know the receivers was out of this world, but the quarterback has to make the throws still. He still has to make the throws, and he was making the throws that he needed to make, and he was making them on time and on target. He's a winner. I think he's ready for the NFL on Sundays right now. I like Matt. I like him, man.
I guarantee if you watch this highlight. Go ahead.
Didn't AJ McCarron make the right throws?
Not like that. I'm gonna say this: you can't go to watch a highlight package of Mac Jones and say that was a bad throw. Can't do it. And another thing why I'm high on Mac Jones is because they brought in a 5-star recruit to actually take over for Tua. Mac Jones said, "Nah, bro, this is my job. This is my job. Play himself into a Heisman Trophy type season. If it wasn't for Devontae, and the year Kyle had, Mac Jones, and even with Kyle, the year Kyle had, Mac Jones had a Joe Burrow-esque type season.
If Jalen Waddle was healthy, Mac Jones wins the Heisman because Devontae has to share the ball.
Doesn't have the numbers that he has.
But Mac Jones probably has even a
better numbers.
Better season.
Has better numbers. This is crazy. And again, I like Mac Jones. I think he is a beast. It's just the trajectory that the NFL is going with. He's not mobile. He's Tom Brady-esque. And we just saw he won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady just won the Super Bowl.
I feel you. This isn't a big athletic draft class.
Right.
I think next year is going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
That when you start looking at some of the guys that's going to come out, next year is going to be interesting because there's going to be a lot of athleticism at quarterback coming out, and I'm going to keep my eye on it to see where Mel Kiper and Todd McShay start ranking out.
I just want to get number 4 from Houston. That's all I want for Christmas, New Year's, all that.
They said they're not trading.
He ain't moving. I mean, they dumb, but I don't think he wants to go. I don't think he wants to go to San Fran anyway. My number 1 is Trey Lance. Trey Lance is my number 1. Just trajectory, tools, everything. He checks every box. He's big. He's fast. He's physical. Got a big arm. He can throw anticipatory. Like, I know it's a small sample size, and a lot of people, that's what scares a lot of people because it's a small sample size. But listen, 41-0 is 41-0. I know we talk about he could have had some picks or something like that. They didn't. On his record, it says he's 41-0. And I think they won every game that year. It's nothing that this kid can't do. It's just at a small sample size, and that's what scares people. It's because it's a small sample size. But when you look at the highlights that he has, it's like, man. It's just, again, if he was a 4-year starter, just like Trevor was a 4-year starter, Trey Lance would be the number one overall pick in the draft. That's it. It's just because he only had 16 starts. That's it.
I agree.
Matt Jones only had 16 starts too.
So you said that's your number 1?
Yeah, Matt. It's Trey Lance.
Who was your number 2? Oh no, you said Matt.
Trevor, my number 2. Matt Jones is Biz. No.
My number 1 is my man from BYU, Zach Wilson. I know you were saying about his size and the talent that he played around or whatever, but you can have that same argument for Trey, especially with him in AA or FCS as they call it. But Zach, to me, like when I looked at it, I ain't gonna say I looked at a lot of tape, but from what I looked at, he made all the throws. He threw people open, back shoulder throws, down the field. His pocket presence was there. He got somewhat of athletic ability to get out of the pocket. He can run a little bit. Like he didn't. It wasn't anything to me that was like, oh nah, that's not gonna work. And I seen a lot of that from the quarterbacks. I could see like with Trevor, it's just like once he gets rattled, it's a wrap. Like that offensive line kept him intact. But with him, like he's going to do his thing regardless of whether the defense ain't showing up, whether he don't have pressure. I mean, whether he got pressure, don't have pressure. So he to me is
all platform.
Yeah.
Can I say this real quick? Because I know Biv's thing is Zach Wilson's as well. There's 2 quarterbacks in. I'm gonna ask you all this question. Who are the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now? 2 best young quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yeah. And Josh.
Or who people say?
No.
Pat and Josh.
Pat and Lamar.
Okay. I know a lot of people say Pat and Deshaun. People say Pat and Deshaun, right?
Yeah. Is he young? You consider him young? Like
Who?
he's been in the league 5 years, right?
Who?
Deshaun.
He's 25.
Is he?
Yeah, 25.
How long has he been in the league? I feel like the Texans keep
Him and
getting
Pat
that
in the same
wild
year.
card for like the pet. For
Him
really?
and Pat came the same year. Yep. So it's probably they probably like they
this
probably
is their
it's their
fifth
fifth
year.
year. It's their 5th year. So Pat Deshaun. The reason I said I wanted to bring it up is because
Okay.
the
Yeah.
two quarterbacks that I have, well, I have in the top 3 remind me of those two quarterbacks: Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, Trey Lance, and Zach Wilson remind me of those two type of quarterbacks.
So who will be who?
So if I could see Pat Mahomes and Trey Lance, and I could see Pat Mahomes and I could see a lot of Pat Mahomes and Zach Wilson. I see a lot of Deshaun Watson and Trey
They need to
Lance.
put North Dakota State on TV now because this is the second time they done had a quarterback in the mix. So they need to be on some type of, because I didn't know who the hell Carson Wentz was, and now and he came out trying to win an MVP his second year in the league. So North Dakota, what they doing up there in North Dakota?
They're doing their thing up there.
Yeah.
For me, Zach Wilson, like I think he's just the best passer in this draft class.
I agree.
I just that simple for me.
Yeah.
I think he's the
Everything. Off platform, on platform,
I think
everything. He has
he's the best arm talent of everybody in his class, including Trevor Lawrence. So I think
just imagine what he could have done with any of those weapons, man. Just imagine some of the weapons that he could have been thrown to with at Ohio State or at Bama or at Clemson. Like, yeah, he's not gonna have another offensive weapon drafted in this class. Trey Lance is actually going to have an offensive lineman drafted in this class.
You said who?
Trey Lance. He's going to have an offensive lineman drafted in this class.
Oh, okay.
Zach Wilson is not going to have another offensive player drafted with him.
So where do you see him going to?
Who? Trey or Zach?
Trey.
Trey can go to as high as 3 if it's a trade, but if it stays as is, Trey can go as high as 4. I think people automatically pencil him. Boom. He's been anointed that since day one. Zach Wilson, they see a lot of Patrick Mahomes in Zach Wilson. They can't pass up on that talent. Trey Lance, we see a lot of Deshaun Watson in him. We can't pass up on that talent. So those are going. 1, 2, 3. Those are going to be your quarterback. So speaking of that, let's get into the best teams in the NFC. I start with my number 5. My number 5, I struggled with a little bit because I really don't know what the Saints are going to be. I don't know what a couple of teams are going to be. So for my number 5, I went with the Cardinals. Because I think that that team was good. I think they actually had a downfall when Chandler Jones got injured. So I like everything that the Cardinals do.
I don't know about saying the Cardinals. I don't know about saying anybody in the NFC West, but I know I'm gonna have to. But I'm actually going to say the Vikings at 5.
I'm off that train.
I'm not off that train.
I'm off that train, bro.
I'm gonna say the Vikings just had. I got the Vikings at 5.
I thought about them. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
I'm getting ready to.
I want to see if you say a team that I thought I had in my head.
I got the San Francisco 49ers at 5.
Oh, you gave us love. You gave us love. I ain't even give us love.
The defensive players are going to get healthy. I believe that they're going to make a move to get a quarterback.
I hope.
So they make a move to get a quarterback.
I had to be on the Jimmy train. Don't do that.
I know, right? Like, we were trying to tell you.
I had to, bro. And whoever we get,
the sample size is not real. Bill Belichick was willing to let him go. He seen something.
He want him back though.
No, he don't.
Yeah, dude.
But I feel like if the Niners get a quarterback, they're gonna be right there, and I believe they're gonna get a quarterback. So that's why I got them at 5. Because if they do get a quarterback, I might have them higher.
That's a wrap.
I'm gonna say this before I go forward. My honorable mention. I thought one of y'all was gonna say the Washington football team.
Oh man, I got them. Hold on. Since you did it, I got them at 4.
You got them at 4?
I got them at 4. Man.
If they find the quarterback,
I got them at 4.
that can be a tough out right there. But I ain't sold on them. My number 4, I have Seattle. Seattle.
My number 4 is I had to go division winners, and then so the 4th. I'm not even gonna say it like that because I ain't gonna disrespect the NFC East and your Eagles and all that. But I'm gonna go with the Redskins. Or I'm sorry, Washington football team. Listen, yo, my son will get pissed off at me. Daddy, it's Washington football team. Because, like, bro, you only 4 years old. This is what you came into. This is your normal. My normal was the Redskins, bro. But Washington football team, and it's strictly their defense, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Like, if they get one weapon on offense, y'all better figure out something. Because Ron Rivera is a defensive-minded coach, and
I like their weapons for offense. They just need to find the guy.
I don't know who their running back is.
They got Gibson.
And I know Terry McLaurin. Or McLaughlin. Is it McLaughlin?
Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, from so but yeah, even if Alex Smith looked like Alex Smith of old and just managed to get
Alex Smith. They can't do it. They can't get it done with Alex Smith. They need a guy. They need Deshaun Watson.
They need to make a move for a guy.
Teddy Bridgewater?
I don't care if it's Matt Ryan or Deshaun. Make a move for a guy. Don't draft a quarterback. Don't go down that road.
Yeah, don't draft him. Y'all. That defense is winning. Defense
is ready. That defense is ready now. Don't waste that. That defense is ready now. Go make a move and go get a guy.
Yeah, it's a win now defense. My number 3 is the Packers, and that's I don't know why I have them. I think that's just brand name. I legit don't know why I have the Packers at number 3 because I think the rest of the NFC is trash. But yeah, the Packers.
I have the Packers at 3 as well. I mean, until you beat them, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still the quarterback of the Packers as of today, and they still had Devontae Adams, and their team is still assembled the way that it is. So I mean, and they went to NFC Championship last year, and they had home advantage.
I got the Packers at 3 as well, and this is I'm going to say something. This is that one of those supremacy things. They rule that division, and until somebody's playing them, I'm not going to pick anymore. I'm not going to say that they're going to be down. They're going to be one of the best teams in the NFC every year.
Based off of the division they play in.
That division's trash. Let's just say it. The Vikings, they had that 1 year where they like, oh man, they want you to believe in them, and then they can't get themselves together for the next 3 to 4 years. Same thing with the Bears. We know how good that defense is, but they can't get a quarterback. So the Packers are going to continue to rule that division. So I got them at 3.
And I'm gonna say this: once the Saints figure out their quarterback situation, I'm probably gonna bump the Packers off of this. The Saints figure out their quarterback position, I will bump the Packers off this. But because I don't know what's going to happen at the quarterback position with the Saints, I had to put the Packers in there based off of what Biff said, them winning their division. My number 2, the Rams. Rams is number 2. Defense was nasty. Their quarterback away. We've said it on this show plenty of times. Matthew Stafford is a generational type quarterback who played in the generational type trash franchise. He played in the that's not even generation. This is century trash. This is who they are. Detroit is trash. and they wasted my man. They wasted the careers of three generational type quarterbacks. I mean, three generational type players, and I'm glad that they realized that they was wasting generational talent and freed my man.
I don't know how true this is, but I seen that Brandon Marshall has the same type numbers as Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron played 9 years.
How many? Okay. All right. Just
Marshall,
I didn't look deep into that meme, but I was like, But at number 2, I got the Bucks. Yeah, they won the championship this year, but they was also a wild card team to get in there. And I mean, of course, with the Super Bowl, you're always going to lose pieces. I mean,
but will they? They got about 40 million.
You have told me about the Super Bowl hangover.
Okay.
Right?
But
don't exist in them. They don't exist with Tom Brady.
It don't. But I mean, just on paper, looking at everything, I still have them as a second best team.
I mean, you still got them at 2. It's like you didn't have them at all.
Yeah.
I can see they wasn't on your list.
Yeah, but I got them at 2.
Because that's where I got them too.
So y'all high, huh?
Nah.
That's where I got them too. I got them at 2, and it's only because I don't think they're going to be able to retain some of those guys, you know. So, hopefully they re-sign the guys that they need to re-sign.
No, hopefully they don't.
I think they're going to re-sign everybody.
With me being in the NFC, hopefully they don't.
I'm saying for their sake, they hopefully they re-sign the guys that they need to re-sign. But what that other team did,
I got you.
I'm higher on it.
And I think the Bucks can afford to lose Chris and still sign everybody else and still have one of the most talented wide receiving corps in the NFL.
Hey, you can come to San Fran, Chris.
Why would I go there?
I don't know. I'm just shouting on any free agent. They can come to San Fran, bro. Just anybody.
Y'all underutilize the weapons y'all got.
I'm not encouraging any wide receiver to come to Baltimore.
Nah, you should.
Only tight ends.
Until we prove that we can actually put together a good passing game, I'm not encouraging them. For what?
Tight ends can come. Tight ends all day.
For
yeah,
what?
Y'all got about 10 of them already.
Why do we need more of those dudes?
Yeah.
I think we have enough.
Number 1 for me, Bucks. I mean, just based off because no offseason, what they just did, and again, they got $40 million to spend on all their free agents. They'll get all their free agents back, outside of maybe Leonard Fournette, maybe AB, but maybe AB takes a pay cut. They're going to get everybody back. They're going to run it back. In the full season, it's going to be a full off season with a 44-year-old Tom Brady.
So my number 1 team, I was minding my business watching television, and I turned the channel, and I seen on the bottom line that the Rams traded Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. I said, who allowed?
That's a wrap for me.
You know how many curse words came out of my mouth that day? I legit thought I was asleep. I thought I was dreaming. I said, this did not happen. They did not get Matthew Stafford. Like, this is like a trade scenario.
And let's be real.
And it really happened.
Anything for him.
I said, yo, this is...
Didn't really give up anything.
I was never a fan of Jared Goff, bro. And they still went to the bowl.
You were a huge fan. You're a 49er fan. You should have been a huge fan.
No, I was. Yeah, I'm just saying in the grand scheme of just him getting picked and all the. I wouldn't hype on him at Cal. I was like, who? He's whatever. Either way they picked him, it worked out for them. But then for them to get Matt Stafford, bro. I said, yo, we got to get Deshaun Watson. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Bro, listen, Everybody except for Nick Bosa got to go. Nick Bosa or Debo and Kittle. Everybody else, they can go. Go get him now. Now. Like that's what are we competing or are we not?
He actually gonna be a Panther, I think.
Like Arizona just went and got DeAndre, right?
Yep.
They just went to go get Matt Stafford.
Y'all started it though, man. Y'all brought in Jimmy first.
Really? Come on, that's not starting. DeAndre, the best wide receiver in the league. They went to go get him.
Arguably.
Yeah, okay, arguably. And then
that's
arguably one of the best quarterbacks. I ain't gonna say, you know what I mean, but like he's been on
top 10 quarterback, maybe top 8.
And then you get him with that defense now with Ramsey and Aaron Donald.
Yep. And I'm hearing JD might go there.
Here's what I say, and this is why I got the Rams at number 1 as well. For me, it's what the head coach is supposed to be. For me, the head coach is supposed to be one of those offensive gurus, correct?
Yep.
And the quarterback was supposed to have been the reason why this offense wasn't a juggernaut, right?
Yep.
There's no
if he's supposed to be, if McVay's supposed to be who he is with this guy,
there's none.
And those weapons,
yep.
And he got that defense on the other. If they should be challenging Tampa for home field advantage throughout the playoffs and a trip to the Super Bowl.
Did the Rams beat Tampa?
Huh?
Didn't the Rams beat Tampa last year?
Did they play last year?
Yep, regular season. They beat them. Smack them.
Yeah. So I just feel like I feel like that on paper, if this is if the Bucs can't retain the guys.
Right.
The Bucs retain their guys with 12. They're the best team. They're the best team in football. Because that's who. That's who 12 is.
Football.
That's who 12 is. That's who 12 is.
Disrespecting 12, like
you gotta stop saying that's who 12 is, man.
I think Kansas City had a bad night, yo. I just think Kansas City had a bad night.
Again, they didn't have their tackles and all of that. We knew that going in. That didn't stop nobody from picking them.
It didn't. No, I give you that.
Nobody for picking them. And 12 was good. The defense was even better.
Like I said, listen, I get it. Kansas City had a bad night. Bad nights are we scored a touchdown. They didn't score one touchdown.
Listen, I give all the credit to Tampa Bay. I'm just saying, like, as far as like,
I actually don't think Kansas City is the best team in the AFC.
I can't put Tampa Bay in that. They're arguably the best team in football if they retain everybody. But I can't just knock out Kansas City because they lost the championship.
They just want to score them.
But they was running through everybody the whole regular season.
It wasn't
that they got beat by Oakland or Las Vegas.
It was like 40-32.
I'm not saying that Kansas City is not like it. They're still the one of the best teams in football. They're still, if I was probably ranking them, I'd probably still have them third.
Yep.
Ooh, third.
I don't have them the best team in the AFC.
I believe Buffalo.
They coming.
You
get a running. I know Ben's not high on his team. I know he's not high on his team. Yeah. But let me tell you something. If Kansas City would have played them last year, the way they played Buffalo, the Ravens would have beat Kansas City.
I don't want to be a homer, you feel me? Just so we know saying that kind of stuff, you feel me? But the Bucs, man, 12 is he got that LeBron factor. It's like the same, like it doesn't matter what's going on around them. He's gonna find a way to win.
So now I feel bad.
Why is that?
Because maybe like last year, Dom asked me a question. Would I take Brady or Garoppolo? And I said Garoppolo because of his youth. But listen, hold on. After I said that, we went to the bowl. We went to the bowl with Garoppolo. And then this MFer goes and wins
It
it.
wins the bowl
It wins
against the guy you couldn't beat.
So I mean, listen, I'll take Brady for a year. I'll take Brady for a year, bro.
Now you want Brady for a year. Now
I think
everybody want Brady for a year.
This nigga's 80. Like, who would have thought? Like, seriously.
12 different, man.
He has the weapons though. Like, come on now. Like,
That's not his fault.
it is his fault. What do you mean?
He did pick that team though.
Did you see the T-Mobile commercial? He told Gronk to come. He called up AB. AB was staying at his house, bro.
He brought in Leonard.
Even with no disrespect to AB and Gronk, but even before they showed up,
no,
the weapons were
the weapons was there.
They did.
They just got even more ridiculous.
They wasn't his weapons. Where's OJ Howard at, bro?
He got injured.
He was hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, he got injured beginning of the season. Oh yeah, he comes back next year.
Okay.
My God.
Again. Before Gronk and AB got there, the weapon before Gronk, AB, and Leonard Fournette got there, the weapons were plethora. People can't stop that Jameis was throwing for $5,000, man.
Yep.
Along with the 30 interceptions.
With 30 interceptions.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
Can I say this real quick too? Tom Brady was missing offensive lineman in the Super Bowl as well. I think people forget about that. His offensive lineman, his starting right guard and his starting center was injured. Tom Brady, man.
Best game manager ever.
Ever. He is. Best game manager ever.
He could be that. He's the best quarterback ever.
That's debatable, but
it's not debatable. He's the best.
He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. Yeah. I don't think he's the best pure passer of all time. I'll say that. But he is the best quarterback of all time.
You know what? One of the things that convinced me.
Not the best passer of all time. No.
You know, one of the things that convinced me that he's really like the GOAT? When they NFC Championship game, they was up 14-10. And they got the ball with like a minute some change left. And my man went down, scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like before the half.
Yeah.
Pretty much like clinched the game, bro. That long pass to the
Scotty Miller.
I was like, okay. He really different because he did this in his 40s, bro. In his 40s.
People say getting better. People say getting better with age.
At Lambeau.
Better with age, baby. Listen, he a choke artist though. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's him a choke artist? Aaron Rodgers is a choke artist, so I ain't worried about
I was gonna say
that wasn't all on him, bro.
Aaron Rodgers is a choke artist. 1-5 in championship games.
Yo,
football is a team sport, bro.
Yo, it is a team sport.
He played a hell of a game.
Yo,
Tom Brady made one wrong decision.
They had 3 and outs on turnovers.
They did.
And Tom Brady three.
That's all on him.
He's the quarterback. We're not getting ready. We're not getting ready to say here. If he drove him down the field, we're gonna give him the credit. We're not gonna ready to say here and not give him the blame.
And we're gonna say
how many weapons does he have?
Hold up.
He got the same weapons that he had when he went 13-3.
Twice.
That's the same ones.
And we can talk about who's the coach. Well, this isn't. He ain't new to this.
We gotta stop being
like Matt LaFleur been there, but let's not act like Matt McCarthy wasn't there before. The common denominator is Aaron Rodgers.
We keep doing. This is we treat Aaron Rodgers like we treat LeBron. He can have the best team for the regular season. They can go out. They can win all of the games in the regular season, and all of a sudden in the playoffs, they're not good enough no more to get the job done. And it's all their fault, and it's never his. He doesn't never have to take any.
Let me. What was his performance? Because he had a quite.
Who?
Rodgers. I ain't talking about the stats.
I don't care enough about the numbers. I'm talking about moments.
I want to hear say about moments.
When your defense gets 3 turnovers, and you get 3 and outs behind those turnovers, and then you could have ran to make it a manageable 4th and goal, and you decided to throw the ball. No, this is fun.
Let's talk about being in the red zone multiple times and just staring down Devontae Adams.
This
Because
is
he
about
got nobody else, man.
Other people were open. Other people was
discount
open.
double check. This is about discount double check. That's all about him.
Listen, Robert Tonyan had 10 touchdowns on the season. His tight end. Aaron Jones was a 1,000-yard rusher. I'm just saying.
Listen, let me find these. Where is Aaron
Hell,
Rodgers?
we know that the rest of what is it? Scantling and
Yeah,
those
listen.
Valdez Scantling and those guys. They're not on the same level as Devontae Adams. We know that. That didn't stop him from going 13-3.
And throwing 50 touchdowns.
He went 33 for 48.
Again,
touchdowns. He got
again,
sacked 5 times.
you're gonna give me the numbers. You're gonna give me the numbers for the entire game.
13,
Hold on. I'm gonna go. We can go off numbers. We can
They
go.
only ran the ball 16 times.
What Tom Brady numbers?
Tom Brady's numbers.
They couldn't. They couldn't.
He went 20 for 36.
Behind, come on.
3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Oh yeah. So who was the better quarterback in that game? Was it Aaron Rodgers or was it Tom Brady?
Aaron Rodgers.
No, numbers say it was Aaron Rodgers, but the performance say in moments Tom Brady had better moments than
Okay.
Look at the game. I bet you who had the higher QBR. Aaron Rodgers probably.
Aaron Rodgers probably.
He did.
Aaron Rodgers probably had the better QBR, right?
Yeah.
Because it was for the totality of the game. But in the moments,
I give you all that.
Tom Brady handled the moments better than Aaron Rodgers
He
handled the moments.
choked when the pressure on, man. He choked.
He only took that one. Where he ain't run.
This has become a common thing with him. This has been a common thing.
Games. And he can say, well, I didn't have home field advantage in all those games. No, you had home field advantage in this one.
And then
you understand, friend,
all the excuses is off the table, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I understand some of them was anomalies, like the onside kick in Seattle. I understand that one, but you look at his performance in the fourth quarter, wasn't that great?
Hey, Aaron,
I'm tired of people saying that Aaron Rodgers ain't have a lot of weapons. Did he not have Jordy Nelson? Did he not have Randall Cobb? Did he not have Greg Jennings? He had 1,000-yard receivers. Multiples.
Hey, forget all that, Aaron. Listen, if you're listening, if you tired of people saying that you ain't got a lot of weapons, that you ain't clutch, and all that, come to San Fran, bro.
Hush.
Come home to the Bay, bro.
Be on the worst team.
Any good quarterback right now, come to the Bay, please.
Let's finish up with that Russell Wilson talk.
That was Sierra that told him that.
Listen. I seen a meme. It was like Russell Wilson before Sierra, Russell Wilson after Sierra. My man had the little juicy hair. He had the boyish face.
Sierra went out of Seattle. She went out to get her Northwest.
Yeah,
man. She went out. Talk about
that don't even seem like Russ to talk like, yo, I'm getting hit that much.
I believe it is. I believe it's him.
You believe it's him?
Well, this is why I say I can't believe
that
it's him.
That don't even seem like him.
You know why? You know why I believe it's him? Because his agent then came out and said, but if he were to be interested in a trade, these are the teams. So y'all have had the discussion.
They had the discussions, yeah.
I seen him talking to him and Sierra talking to Goodell at the Super Bowl. I said,
he had the discussion with Sierra. That's his agent had the discussion with Sierra. I was looking at the teams. I was like, Chicago, okay, that's a big market. Vegas, big market. Texas, big market. New York, big market. So Sierra want them big markets.
Yeah, because the Chicago went through me.
Yeah, Chicago.
Who you throwing the ball to, bro?
Big market.
If Allen Robinson stayed there, Allen Robinson.
Okay, that's one. Who else?
Allen Robinson. Oh, they got Darnell Mooney, who's an up and comer. They got a couple weapons.
They got a few weapons.
But I'm gonna tell you, it's Sierra, bro. It's Sierra.
I think it's Russ, man. That team, like, he started getting beat up.
He ain't gonna get beat up in Washington in Chicago.
And probably a little bit.
He ain't gonna get beat up with the Jets.
He definitely gonna get beat up with the Jets.
Yeah, he probably gonna get beat
He's
up
running for his life,
With the
bro.
Cowboys.
No,
No,
I won't get beat up with the Cowboys. If they get their,
He ain't gonna win nothing with the Cowboys.
no, you're not gonna win nothing with the Cowboys. But
why
he
not?
he not winning enough in Seattle.
With that receiving core,
He not winning enough in the Seattle. What are you winning in Seattle?
Would you take Seattle receiving core or the Cowboys receiving core?
the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Would you take Seattle's team or the Cowboys team?
Cowboys.
Said team,
Yeah, team.
the whole team.
I'm not. I take.
Healthy, yeah.
I'm not
Cowboys.
taking the coaching staff.
You got Zeke.
I'm taking DK.
I don't want the coaching staff in Dallas. I got the team.
I'm taking DK and Tyler over their
Who
top
your running
position.
back though? Who your running back? I got Zeke back
over,
here.
over who?
You got Gallup. You got.
I'm gonna take
CeeDee Lamb.
DK and Tyler over Amari and Gallup. 'Cause no.
Oh,
CD
it is
is their best.
DK, bro.
CD is our second best receiver. Nope, I'm not taking CD. CD is way better than Tyler.
In the NFL?
Yes,
He said in the NFL.
Tyler's a product of Russell Wilson.
Mm.
Tyler's a product of Russell Wilson.
DK is different.
That's why he'll disappear. That's why he'll disappear for games.
I don't know, but all I'm gonna say is it's Sierra, because when I look at these destinations,
Things didn't make sense.
they don't add up. They don't add up.
I was like, Dallas ain't
Listen,
winning nothing, dude.
When I seen them having a conversation with Roger Goodell, I said they're up to something.
But I
He
do
was-
believe Russ wants out. I do believe Russ. I don't think he wants out, but I do think he's frustrated.
I think he's frustrated.
I think he does. I do believe that he's frustrated with what's going on in Seattle, man. They haven't been back to the Super Bowl since the throw.
The Legion of Boom.
Since the throw. They haven't been back to the Super Bowl since the throw.
Yeah.
They had a running game and a defense then too.
They got a running game. They got a running game now.
They got a running game and a defense now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Not like it was.
No, of course not. No.
You know,
That's a historically great defense. Like, we can't expect that to be that anymore.
I'm just saying, when they went on their run, that's what
they
had.
said this. They said this is what the issue is. They said Russ want to cook. They allowing Russ to cook, and the defense ain't the same. When they start running the ball, the defense looks like Pete Carroll defense.
When they was letting Russ cook, they weren't winning. It's just that simple. It's just that simple.
Stop on the ball, Russ.
He was in the MVP race at first because he was hot. He was cooking hot, and then all of a sudden he was cooking cold stuff.
Start burning a couple meals.
His numbers might have been inflated.
It wasn't
that. It wasn't.
Yo,
that
he was throwing for 4 touchdowns, throwing for 175 yards.
Man,
That don't add up.
Russ takes a lot of risks.
He does.
Sometimes he makes throws, and you just be like, "Come on, dude, that's just terrible." And that puts. Let's not pretend that in some of those games he did give his defense a lot of short fields because he was turning the ball over.
True.
I think they lost a game to Arizona late in the season because he threw an interception that he had no business throwing, and then Kyler went down the field and scored.
He lost to the Giants throwing interceptions.
Yeah, man, a lot of this is on Russ, but he's frustrated, and I think he's like a little disgruntled. But those teams was weird that they named. Those teams that made me think
But
that.
what threw me off is she didn't say Atlanta, or he didn't say Atlanta, I should say.
No, he didn't say Atlanta, but he said the Saints.
Oh.
New Orleans, big market. Yep. Sierra went out of Seattle. Russ ain't had no issue with Seattle until Sierra came. No issue. He was the man in Seattle. They traded the whole Legion of Boom. They traded Marshawn. They gave him the keys to the kingdom.
They did. They sure did.
Sierra
They lost a Super Bowl giving him the keys to the
kingdom. Yep. Sierra showed up. She said it rained too much here. Russ ain't had no problem with the rain all his life.
He said it rained too much.
Russ been in the rain his whole life.
Nah.
Now everybody's talking about, man, it rains too much here.
But listen,
Listen, he might be, but it's just coincidence. It's just crazy. But listen, y'all, that's the show for the day. Like I said, super excited. Got my guys back together. Now it's final thought time. Final thought.
my final thought is that to any quarterback that is over
he advocating for
so John Lynch, if you are watching or listening, good brother, we can throw the whole farm to go get that man in Houston.
For what? To do the same thing that Houston is doing with him, be sucked.
No, we
gave up everything for him.
We got a
If not, if you give up everything for him tomorrow,
just get a quarterback and don't draft Justin Fields. If y'all draft Justin Fields, I'm gonna be pissed. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Justin Fields.
I've seen that in mock drafts and I got frustrated.
Where y'all at?
I think at 7. I've seen that in mock drafts.
He might last that long.
No, they're 12. No. They're 12.
I thought we was at, what did it say, a trade or something? Man,
yeah, it was probably a trade, but y'all 12.
Listen, I was like, I seen Mel Kiper little thing.
Yeah, it was a trade.
Oh, he must have said y'all traded up.
Okay. We don't need to trade up. If we going to trade up, get that boy from BYU.
Ain't gonna trade up that high. I'm gonna tell y'all a quarterback I think is great for y'all.
Deshaun Watson?
No, because that's gonna be too much to give up for him, like Bill said. But the quarterback that I think who will be good for y'all.
You better not say what I think you say, man.
Go ahead. I'm gonna say
the boy from Minnesota.
No.
Oh, thank you.
From Minnesota.
The boy from the Jets.
Cousins. He scares me, bro.
Sam Darnold.
He scares me.
Jimmy Garoppolo don't scare you either.
Come on.
Sam Darnold.
I like Sam.
I'm gonna go from Jimmy to Sam. I'm gonna go from Jimmy. I'm gonna go from
Sam Darnold has more upside than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm gonna go from Jimmy that took us to the bowl to a man that said he was seeing ghosts.
I say Teddy.
Yes, he's seeing ghosts. He's seeing ghosts out here because Adam Gase. That's why he out here seeing ghosts. No. I'm gonna tell you right now, Sam Darnold has more talent than Jimmy Garoppolo. There's more talent than Jimmy Garoppolo. He hasn't had weapons. He hasn't had a running game. He hasn't had defense. He hasn't had coaching. He hasn't had organization.
He's had all of those things with coaching. He's had weapons.
Where? Well, okay, Robbie Anderson.
He had Robbie Anderson. He had Le'Veon Bell. He's had weapons.
Coaching was trash.
Coaching was the issue. Adam
I didn't like him at USC, man.
I don't like anybody at USC. I don't like a USC quarterback. I haven't liked the USC quarterback since Matt Leinart.
I ain't like Matt Leinart either.
I like Matt Leinart. I think Matt Leinart was a victim of Kurt Warner.
I'll go one back.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah, Kurt Warner came in and took. Look, what was you supposed to do? Kurt Warner come in and take this team to the Super Bowl? Come on, man.
You remember Todd Marinovich?
You said who?
Todd Marinovich.
No,
he was the quarterback in like 91. He was supposed to be this guy. He got drafted by the Raiders and then he was poop. He was from USC. But
I say y'all should get in the Teddy Bridgewater market, man.
No. Keep Jimmy. You're going to get Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater has 17 and 12 interceptions. Keep Jimmy. Sam Darnold, because it's a high risk, high reward. If you can get him playing to his potential, you got some. If you don't, then you 49ers. Yeah,
we gotta get Deshaun, bro. They got Matt Stafford. We gotta get Deshaun, bro. It's Deshaun. It's Deshaun to keep Jimmy.
Let me ask this: can you match with the Panthers offer? If you can't match with the Panthers offer, you're not getting them.
What did they offer?
They offered them 3 firsts and Christian McCaffrey.
3 1s?
3 1s and Christian.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about 3 1s. I'll give you 1, 2 2s and Jimmy.
Ain't enough.
They're not even answering that phone call.
All right. We're gonna do some good.
That phone call.
a 1, 2 2s, a 3 in Jimmy.
3 1s and Christian McCaffrey.
I'm not giving you 3 1s.
Well,
I'll give you.
Stop
I'll
calling
give
me
you-
there. Stop
Don't
calling me.
call. Don't call. We're talking about 3 1s and an all-pro running back, and you're talking about 1 1, 2 2s, a third, and a probably
Christian
a
McCaffrey and a
Probably
Jimmy
a-
Garoppolo?
probably a
Hold
backup.
on. Hold on. And I'll throw in Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman don't even play for
You
y'all
don't
no
even
more.
have him under contract.
A sign and trade, man.
Yo, right now, if
Bruh.
San Francisco ain't talking about 4 1s,
That's a
3
lot.
1s, and three 1s, and at least a pass rusher.
What you calling me for?
What are we talking about? What are we
You ain't
talking?
talking about Fred Warner and
No. What?
Mm.
We talking okay. Those are Fred Warner, Nick Bosa. Those
So you want to give us poop?
Those are
Oh,
we'll give you solid talent.
Like this reminds me of this guy. Like in one of my fantasy leagues, right? This dude offers me a trade every week for Steph Curry. Every week he makes me a trade offer for Steph Curry. He offers me Kyrie Irving, John Wall, and some other bum every week for Steph Curry, and I keep declining. Huh?
Why would you take that one?
Why?
It's Steph
First of all,
Curry.
it's Steph Curry,
I
and
get that.
it's a points league. Steph is like one of the best scorers in a points league. Like he averages like almost 52 points per game
Okay.
for fantasy. No way I'm giving that up.
He said
Unless you're
John
gonna
Wall,
get
who else?
John Wall and some other bum on his squad and Kyrie. No way, dude.
Yeah. Kyrie
No
gets
way.
buckets.
He doesn't
I
average.
don't know
He
how
doesn't give
okay.
me as many. He doesn't give me as many points as Steph.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, then you want Steph. You're gonna have to give up something for him. Give me Kyrie and give me Joel.
Joel points on the same level as Steph Curry's.
But he's not gonna play as many games.
True.
So that's why I'm like, and neither is Kyrie. So that's why I feel like it's an even trade. Tomorrow, you just like that. You don't want to give up nothing for something.
I will give. Listen,
Man, we just asked you
gonna
for
give
Fred
up.
Warner.
I said I'm gonna give up Jimmy.
Again, you want to give up nothing for something. Nobody wants Jimmy.
Listen,
Jimmy
y'all trying to give away Jimmy. What are you talking about, man? Y'all looking for the upgrade for Jimmy.
Yo, if y'all can't find a suitor in a trade for Jimmy, I bet y'all cut him.
I think probably gonna be released.
Y'all want that contract off the books. I guarantee y'all cut him.
And ride with Nick Mullins. The whole
No, y'all gonna draft the quarterback.
Y'all draft a quarterback.
Yo, if it
Y'all take a Mac Jones. He might fall that far.
Yeah. Or y'all might trade up. Or y'all might get. Listen, Mitch Trubisky might be your guy. Who knows? I don't know.
You know what I mean?
all
Nick
right.
Foles.
What are y'all final thoughts, man?
My final thought is, if you want something in life, you gotta give something in life. That's
Bro, I'm giving you Jimmy a 1, 2, 2s and a signing trade with Richard Sherman.
Okay. So that's basically a 1, 2 2s, a 3, a 6, and a 7.
That's not a 6 and a 7.
Jimmy Garoppolo's a 6, and Richard Sherman at this point is a 7.
He gonna play safety. If he plays safety,
Oh, man, he's an 8. He's an 8. He's an 8,
sorry.
man. He's an undrafted free agent. If you're gonna put him at safety,
Oh, I wish we just drafted DK Metcalf in the first place. We wouldn't be in this situation.
my final thought.
Oh,
My final thought is I'm gonna give a shout out to the Seaford High basketball team today. Man.
Word.
They going to try to win a Him Conference championship, man. If it wasn't for COVID, I'd be going up with them because I'd be coaching them. But you know, what I mean, COVID wasn't. I wasn't able to coach this year, man. But I'm so proud of them boys. I hope they are proud of themselves, man. Good luck to them today. Go get that dub. Beat Smyrna. Bring back that banner to the high school, man.
Word, man.
Sure, congratulations. All right, y'all. That's our show for the day. If you enjoyed the show, again, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Tell a friend. Make sure you follow us on our Facebook page, and our link tree is on our Facebook page. You can catch us on all our other platforms. Super excited again. Had me and Biv, of course, and y'all know Taman. I mean, he back with us, so not back with us full time. I mean, but we
I'm
working
just
on
in
it.
and out like a robbery.
But it was good to have you back and have the full squad back. I know we're a little long today, 3 hours and 10 minutes. But it was all fun and all love. I'm probably gonna get it from my wife later after I leave out of here. But it was all fun and all love. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the show. But that's our show for the day. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Till next time. Speak on the go.
Peace.
Peace.